What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Brea Thorn. How's it going? Glad to see you guys. Hope everybody's doing well. I just had to get everything set back up because every time I travel somewhere, I take like half of my studio. But yeah, I'm back. Oh, I just noticed that. That's you. Ew, what happened to that? I only have it attached to the wall up there, so if I nudge it, it just stays in, like, off kilter. I'm gonna have to fix that. But what by design? But my floor is a complete mess from like my back, my bags are here, like my backpack, my roller camera bag thing, all that. It's all there, and I think I just shoved something out of the way. That's great. That looks very professional. I'm gonna fix that. Here, enjoy a little bit of starting soon screen. We'll pause this. We're gonna go back to starting soon just for a second, and I'm gonna fix that. And you're gonna act like nothing happened. That's your job here. Okay, I just want you to know that that's you're part of this. So you're part of the whole process. All right. So just keep that in mind. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We're back. Already, some of y'all are doing a great job. Great job. But yeah, I'm in a four-way fight with Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman. 2 down, and the Wolfman still standing. Sailor, I hope you're okay over there. I hope you come out on top there. That sounds serious. All right, camera, you can start following me again. There we go. Lots going on on the Twitch side. And I know maybe because you saw the stream title was I'm building another PC with Emmett. I'm not in San Francisco. He doesn't need another PC. We don't have another PC to build him. But it's time to say hi to everybody. Coalition Chris, of course, what's up? Lone Vaquero coming in before starting. What's going on, buddy? And Bergie, what's going on? Thank you for the welcome back. Appreciate it. Exiled Wolf, how you doing? Some idiot says they forgot to change the stream name. True. Starting soon animation rating 6 out of 9 would bang again. Nice. Did autocorrect actually do the right thing there, Chris? How you doing, bud? You doing all right? Skeeter, how's it going? Welcome. A WX fan, what's going on? I know you filled out the form. We're doing those tonight. I'm going to do a couple of those tonight. I'm not going to be live until midnight tonight. I am so tired still. Those who have been around for a while understand that usually when I go on a trip, I need a couple of days to just, after I get back. Most people kind of feel that way. With chronic fatigue syndrome, it's like times 10. Skeeter, I'll see you soon. And look at that. Bergie. Also, Chris, thank you for the resub. I saw that. Tier 1. Thank you for the 14 months subscribed. Man. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you, bud. We're basically passing that back and forth because I'm subscribed on your channel too. Is what's going on YouTube? Is there just nobody watching right now? What's going on there? Am I crazy? Well, it's usually YouTube's a little bit more busy than well, it has a few more people than Twitch, but not today. That's okay. I have been, most of my streams were, well, I just had the one with Emmett on Twitch, and then PC World was on the PC World channel. A lot of stuff happened over the last week and a half. A lot to talk about. It's Jord. What's up? Welcome. But yeah, WX fan, how are you? It says, how are you? I am I'm a tired man. but I'm recuperating. Vaquero, you switched to Linux. That's crazy. You might try dual booting to ease yourself into it. It means you have a secondary SSD that has Linux on it, so you can switch between Windows and Linux at will whenever you boot up your PC. Yeah, here I am. Trip was great, though, Skeeter. Thanks for asking. Bone Shock, what's going on? Thank you for the lurk. Braxton, how you doing? I am doing well tonight. I should probably have just rested, considering what we got coming up over the next couple days. But yeah, we're back. You just appeared. Yes. We're back from California. That was cool. Never actually seen the beginning of that. Really? I like it. Alucard says, did not miss much. You talking about me? Being in California? I don't know. Wanted to drop in and say hi. Got a cast in. Okay, WX fan. I hope that goes well. Good luck. Have fun with that. Stop stopping. Continuing. Thank you. I don't know if something's wrong with this gimbal or what I need to do. Igor 1980, how's it going, bud? And Bergie5, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate it. We're not building. We're not doing another build. I don't want to do another build. I did 2 PC build streams in a row. And now I got to do an unboxing stream day after tomorrow. So, saw you on PC World, and I saw you built a Thermaltake 600 PC. Yes, I did, with Emmett, friend of mine. Speedrunner. Awesome dude. Also, all-around foodie, all-around awesome host. Really nice guy. All good. I have a cast in a few minutes. How do I know if you picked me to chat with for the build? It just goes in order of when you entered it. WX. I mean, honestly, I can do yours off stream. That's not a problem. Also, yours is a different situation, really. Yours was just me wanting to see everything you needed to see if I had anything for it. But yeah, the trip was crazy, guys. I got to hang out during TwitchCon. I got to hang out with my buddy Splave for a while, which was really cool. And some OBS nerds too, which was really fun. But yeah, mine was normal form stuff. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I'll take a look at it and sort of. I mean, I already kind of know what you need, but it's good to have that in there. Would love to go through the stuff with you. That sounds good. That sounds good. WX, maybe we'll get on a call if we don't do it on stream. If you got to go cast, I totally understand. What are you casting, by the way? Is it CS? I want a Stream Deck Plus from Nutty Stream. That was my TwitchCon highlight. I thought it was an SSD, Chris. But I did run into Nutty. We got to hang out for a little while. And he was like, I don't have the SSD. Like, Elgato is just gonna send it. So, yeah, he didn't have it. CS2, nice. All right, we'll talk to you later then. Yeah, good luck, have fun. Oh, cool. That worked out, lol. Yeah. Yeah. So it was a Stream Deck Plus. I do like the Stream Deck Plus. I have mine. I got the USB-C dock base. It's pretty good. It does have some issues. Over on YouTube, there are still some people who did show up. What's going on? How's it going? Adam Keller, how you doing? And Dare D, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all. Wolfman's down. All 3 defeated. What is going on, Sailor? How's the Q looking today? It's so funny hearing Q. That gives me flashbacks because I was actually going through some old stream VODs that I had on an older SSD, and I saw myself struggling with the Stream Elements Q, and it was bad. It was real bad. But let me get into that. I don't want Gemini, Google. Get out of my face with it. Gotta log in again. I guess I have been gone for a bit. Yes, you want to verify it's me. Did the USB dock for has Stream Deck Plus 2. Yeah, it's pretty rad. He had a Prompter XL in his hands at one point, so I thought Elgato had them on hand on site. Yeah, I mean, I do kind of want the Prompter XL. The only thing is with this gimbal setup, it would not work. If I were to go back to a static camera there and then like my Osmo Pocket 3 for the moving face cam when I'm in desktop mode, that would probably work. But I already have the smaller prompter, so I don't know if I should do it. Okay. Let me scroll down this to where we are at. Where are we? We're at there. Oh, there's a bunch of people who filled out the form while I was gone. Like a bunch of people, including you, Alucard. So I guess that's why you're asking. Igor, lurking on the TV while I lay down. Treatments wear me out. Yeah, that's totally understandable. Igor, get some rest, and I hope that even though this probably isn't going to be a full-length stream, just because I tend to need some recuperation time after a trip. I hope that it's I'll try it. Maybe I should put on some lo-fi instead of the montage music we got going on right now. Sailors is looking to sell some DDR5 RAM. I guess I will have to go to that sand crawler. Sailor, I don't know what's going on, but it sounds like you're having an adventure, and I hope that goes well for you. Just poked in here, thought there was more in here today. Yeah, no, it's I don't know if it's because while I was gone, the only stream that I did was on Twitch. I don't know if YouTube forgot about me. But also I didn't put the stream thing up until after 8. And I also announced slightly after 8 that I'd be streaming tonight. But usually the first stream back, I mostly talk about what happened on the trip. And there's some real interesting stuff that happened on the trip that is going to be, that's pretty fun. Of course, some of y'all know who Splave is, the winningest overclocker there is. He was at TwitchCon overclocking like he does, and I got to help out and hang out. It was cool. Had to ask, I'm working on a commission to build for a colleague of mine and mainly have some questions about the MOBO I picked for it. Oh, that's fair. All right. I see your PC part picker list. But yeah, since the 9th, we have some people who've been waiting. Those were back then. I guess they didn't come back through. We did have a stream on the 9th. And then from the 23rd to today, the 28th, we have some entries. So, yeah. Just the annual Halloween off-world adventure. That sounds amazing. Pretty cool. Oh, that's another thing I ran into when I was looking at the old VODs on that SSD. I ran into a Halloween spooky stream and a Christmas stream. And I used to do holiday streams, and they were really fun. You check out Chainsaw Man yet? No, I was out of town, running around, being crazy. I must just struggle to imagine a work PC that doesn't want to. Oh, image a work PC that doesn't want to cooperate. Starting it from scratch. Jeremy S says, thanks. Took your advice and bought a computer from Alexander PCs. Like to send you the specs. Jeremy, one thing is you should be able to send me just tell me which one it is, and the specs don't change too much. Survey Gaming, what's up? Hey, what's up, Braythorn? Almost all the parts are here. I'm getting the rest at the end of the months and during next month. Okay. What an adventure. Sorry, I'm sorry that didn't go smoothly for you. Vaquero says, hey, Braythorn, hey, Briathorn, for $300, do you have any recommendations for a microphone and a set of headphones? For the microphone, though, I can't properly treat my room for the acoustics. Then you just get a dynamic super cardioid mic like this one. So all the reflections coming from all the sides are going to hit it like this, and it doesn't pick them up as much. It doesn't pick them up as much. Off-axis rejection is what that's called, and it's great. Thank you for that camera gimbal. GJ Sparks, welcome. How's it going? Yeah, I mean, I believe Shure has a couple of there's a newer MV7 version, a new version of the MV7, I believe. That one I used to stream with, the old one, and finally they got rid of micro USB, which I hate micro USB. I hate it with a passion. It's a flimsy, terrible connector. Risen Bull, welcome. I'll just peek at it real quick. Let me take a look. It's the MV7i. Oh no, that's that one's like $400. The MV7 Plus is $299. Those are both out of range. Is that what is this purple thing? That is apparently an XLR interface. Interesting. Just single USB-C, so not able to do a dual PC setup. Nice looking though. You're not seeing it, obviously. I didn't switch on purpose. It's okay. I wanted to be able to click around without having any potential issues. So one microphone I would look at. You don't even need to look at a $200 microphone. Just check out the Fifine AM8. It's a fantastic both USB-C and XLR microphone. You can later on, if you get an audio interface, an XLR interface, you can transition to eventually getting a high-end XLR microphone like the Super 55, like this guy right here, or an SM7B, which you don't need that if you're depending on what you're doing. I mean, everybody buys the SM7B or the SM7DB, and it's out there. Yo, what's up? Big Orty, what's going on? Been a while since watching. Hope you're well. Yeah, doing good. Just got back from TwitchCon. The Tank 3 is also nice and it looks cool too. Purple thing equals entire layout setup. Hey, I put in contrasting colors. Thank you very much. Although this purple thing's all right. This purple thing's pretty nice. I showed it to a couple of people at TwitchCon and they were like, "That's awesome. That's your mascot in computer form." I was like, "Yeah, it is. That's what that is." It is, and that is by design, of course. Yo, what's up, TL Foreman? That's exactly the mic I have. Very inexpensive and very good. The Fifine mic. Exactly. I'm bringing it up. I want to look it up first, just to get the current pricing on it. Typically $48 to $63. Currently on Amazon, it is $54. Why don't they have a purple one? I don't know. I have a contact at Fifine. I'm gonna reach out to them. But let me bring up the website so you can see it. Okay. What do my buttons do again? It's been a bit. It's been a minute. I used a Tank 3 at Whaleland and it worked out great and sounded great too. What? Okay. Before I switch over, I got a Tank 3. It's a rugged smartphone. No, it's a Fifine Tank 3. Oh, that is a nice looking mic. It's meant to, I think it's meant to look like the what is it? Earth something audio. What is it? Man, Addy would be pissed at me. Earth something. Looks like that. Sounds like that. Earth Works maybe. Yeah, I got it right before you said it. Although the delay probably has me saying it right when you typed it. It's USB and XLR. Okay, I'm bringing it up. Shut up about me not showing the screen. If you said anything about that. Okay, so this is the one that I typically recommend this one. Actually, when I was switching over to streaming here and using this PC, I was using this microphone for a little while because this guy was still installed over there. But yeah, it's got some RGB on there. It has sort of a dynamic mic appearance. And this one is both USB-C and XLR, has some RGB settings on it. Sounds very, very good for the price, and has some controls on here. It has a headphone jack, so you can monitor your voice. However, that's going to be direct. Well, and you also get your PC audio through that as well. So you have this yoke mount. You don't have to use the base. You can just use the yoke mount to go to a boom arm, which I always recommend to get your mic off your desk, at least from sitting on your desk. And yeah, and Fifine has a nice mic arm as well that you can get. Now, this is the one, the Tank 3 is what Chris was talking about. This one has a bit more of a professional look to it. It's $80. It's both USB-C and XLR. This looks like an Earthworks microphone, but those are usually typically like, raw aluminum rather than painted. You have a nice mute button here. It looks like a clicky one though. I prefer capacitive mute. I don't know. I don't like a clicking sound when I mute or unmute. If I'm doing it right on the microphone, but there you go. You have your XLR and your USB-C and your headphone jack. Cardioid polar pattern. Does this say that it is dynamic? I imagine so. Dynamic mic with cardioid polar pattern. Yo, Dan, thank you for the Prime sub. 32 months. Damn, that's crazy. So he said I wouldn't need to spend $200, but I want to spend at least $100 to $200 on a good mic. Okay, what do you mean by good mic, Vaquero? A lot of microphones, once you start to get up to a certain level, they're going to switch over to being XLR microphones. Then you need to have a couple $100 to spend on an XLR audio interface as well. Then the cables and all that stuff. Like high build and sound quality. Hold on. I'm going to do something for you, okay? Here's what I'll do. The thing is, I don't have a lot of, I don't have I don't have pulse on current microphones like I do with PC stuff. Okay, you wanted a recommendation, I gave you one. If you're just getting started, you don't need a $200 or $100 microphone. This is a quarter of that budget, and it does, I mean, not this, but this one is a quarter of that budget, and it works great. But what I'm going to do is this. Hold on. Hold your horses. I'm going to go and find a stream where I was using this, and you can tell. I'll give you the link. You can listen in, or I'll put it on stream. You can hear it. We're going to have to go pretty far back, though. Not far back enough. Oh, good. I didn't notice what date it was. Whatever. I don't know. I don't remember what I was doing that, but it sounded great. Rode NT1. Rutu, that is, I forget, is that one multi or is it XLR only? Yo, Sonic 1000, what's going on? Got a 9070 XT, it's booty. Nice. 7600X 3D, pretty sweet. Some high-level 1440p gaming right there for sure, if that's what you're going for. I did have a Yeti blackout at one until I got an upgrade to the Universal Audio Volt 276 and Audio Technica AT2040. Nice. Oh yeah, someone asked earlier. Oh, Ruchi, what's going on? How was San Francisco? It was awesome. I'm sorry, I got completely sidetracked. There's a Rode NT USB edition. Okay, I use Rode microphones all the time. Like, go get that one. That Rode NT USB. That one's good. But really, honestly, Vaquero, look up content creators that focus on audio stuff. Don't like, I'm not an expert on everything. I have my focus, and microphones and audio stuff. I have videos teaching you the basics, like what are the different kinds of microphones, how do you position your microphone properly, what are some VSTs, like how do I set up compression. Yeah, I've got old videos on that. It's out there. But if you're looking for like, hey, what's the best microphone for this budget, that is not what this stream is. As someone who's here like all the time, you should know that. It's kind of the same thing as like laptops. I can probably help. I'm not the best person for it. After I built this thing and upgraded as I planned in the future, with the Ryzen 7600X CPU I've purchased suffice for a 40 series GPU. It's not like you're gonna, if you put a GPU in there, Servio, it's not gonna be like, ew, what is a CPU? I don't want to work with it. It'll work. Obviously, it always comes down to exactly what you're doing. If you're just gaming, particularly at a higher resolution, the 7600X, you can do everything you need. It's funny because the higher resolution you go in your gaming endeavors, the less your CPU matters. So, XLR is defo the way to go alone, but mics start getting very expensive and you need an interface for those too. Do y'all want to know how much the Shure Super 55 is? The thing is, the audio interface is what costs a lot for me, because this is a Rodecaster Duo. It's like a $500, $600 audio interface. But the Shure Super 55 at Sweetwater is $215 for this. This is a professional broadcasting microphone. Every time you see someone put their logo of a podcast or something and it has a microphone on it, it's this microphone. And it's just over $200. But then you need a multi-$100 audio interface to make this work. Sweetwater is awesome. 100%. Gotcha. I should be good on the CPU then. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Visual Nate, what's up? Welcome. Son has a generic Amazon mic with RGB. He creates vids with it and sounds great. I think it was $49. Is it the Fifine AM8 or is it like Amazon Basics? Robert Fixit, what's up? Howdy, welcome back. How did San Diego treat you? Treated me great, and then San Francisco treated me better. They both treated me equally well. You didn't say you're in an esports league. You just didn't say you're. Wait, what? Unless you're doing a 5090 to play at 1080p for esports reasons, then consider 9800X 3D. Or Chaos. Are you doing the blanket recommend 9800X 3D thing? That's cringe, bro. It's cringe. No blanket. Okay. Besides which, they said 40 series. So yeah, I don't know why specifically 40 series either. I mean, 40 series is getting a little bit long in the tooth. It's, what, three years since that launched? Do you think you could do a video on how to set up Twitch, OBS, and Streamlabs sometime soon? I didn't see one on the channel. Skeeter, that's because there are people way better at that than I am. There are great channels out there for setting up stream stuff. Look up Nutty. Look up Epos Vox. There's multiple different content creators who focus on that. Again, there are 0 content creators who focus on pre-built PCs. There are a bunch of content creators who can help you get started with OBS. And don't do Streamlabs. Just do straight up OBS. It seems scarier because Streamlabs does a lot for you, but OBS is what you're going to switch to eventually if you get really serious about streaming. And there are some bigger streamers that use Streamlabs. I don't know why. Streamlabs got caught doing a lot of heinous stuff. So stealing ideas and copy and actual ad copy and stuff from other other companies. Really, just like low-hanging fruit kind of controversies. I mean, there are some good 40 series that do a decent job at it. True. Yeah. I'm not dissing 40 series, and if you can get a really good deal on it, then absolutely. But you know, make sure that you're getting a great deal on it. That's all I would say. You know. El Theodore, how's it going? Welcome. I want to build a second PC so I can run a dual PC since my original build is getting there in age. Well, PCs are upgradable. It's one of the best things about them. You could always look at maybe upgrading the one you have. His mic is a Fi-Fine, if I'm reading it correctly. There you go. It's probably, if not this one just like this, but with a different shape to it. The guy who asked about setting up OBS, etc. If you can message me, do so. I just started streaming and setting up everything. Essentially, the thing is, there are people who all they do is nerd out over fine-tuning OBS. I hang out with some of them at TwitchCon. They're exceptional, and I have been using OBS for years, and I still learn stuff from them. That's usually what I would recommend. Essentially, is like I said, Epos Vox, Nutty. Also, you can find some more basic tutorials on Senpai Gaming with Harris Heller. He doesn't get super into the weeds on a lot of things, like the super OBS nerds do, but you can find some really good essential walkthroughs on there. He does more in-depth product reviews, which is like, that's the thing, is when we figure out what works for us as content creators, it's not just that we want to stick with that because it makes sense. We kind of have to. You know what I mean? Let me type these out for you real quick, Skeeter. So Epos, Vox, and Nutty. Look up those two guys. They're actual friends of mine. Incredible at what they do, and very entertaining. If you guys think I tend to like retro stuff and all that, Addy or Epos Vox, his whole channel is like the essence of retro, and also the music you're listening to. He is in a very large way responsible for oh my god, backingtrack.gg, the music I play all the time. Him and another dude are the ones that put that together. So I like the Fi-Fine. It is good. Robert, that's the thing. The Fi-Fine AM8 will get you everything you need to where you can go in and do a little fine-tuning on EQ and have an amazing sound. Now, you might not want to do that. I understand. If money is no object, you can get a nicer microphone. Like the thing is, the AM8 matches most $100 or $150 microphones on the market in terms of quality. Yo, coming in with a party of two. Drewmatic Gaming raiding with a party of two. Let's go, nerds. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Drewmatic, with a party of two. How the heck we doing? Oh, yeah, there you go, Alucard. It is music. Also, I have a timer on that. It just comes up. Twitch sent me a summons. That's cool. What did I do? I knew my ship would come in one day. Visual Nate, really? What did it say? I'm curious. What's up? Nice raid, says Mama Matic. Hello, Mama Matic. Welcome. How's it going? It's good. I just got back from TwitchCon plus my San Francisco after TwitchCon, my post trip to San Francisco. Okay, I gotta know who here, and of course on YouTube as well, who here caught both the build stream with Emmett and then the next day build stream on PC World? Ameridan, I'm basically in the second wave of people who are going to be getting the X50. And guess what? Of course, I didn't even talk much about the trip yet. I just keep like getting sidetracked because I like responding to you guys all the time. That's just how I do it. But I'm gonna have a matching microphone for that purple X50 microphone. This is how much y'all distracted me. I'm gonna have a matching motherboard for that purple X50. Oh, the Twitch summons. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. I forgot who I saw. I was actually with Emmett, and I was logging in with my my stream stuff for his OBS, and he saw that I was using that. But the thing is, I've almost been caught with that a couple times, and I think it's hilarious for a notification. So I was like, I'm copping that. It's funny. It's funny to me. PC World had no cable management skills. Braxton, I don't know if you've noticed, but when I do a build on stream, neither do I. The point is to get the parts all in there and everything plugged in and make it look nice from the front and power it on. I will then spend, if it's a build I'm sending to somebody, or if it's for a giveaway, or if it's for me, I will then spend literal hours doing cable management the right way. Doing rushed cable management on stream, to me, sounds like a nightmare to undo and redo. No, thank you. I seen them both. Dan, I seen you in there seeing them both. PC World, nice. Moving on up. Chris, I mean, I've done stuff with PC World before. They're super cool. They're super nice. I was actually supposed to be on the Full Nerd podcast. However, Tom Peterson, the head of graphics at Intel, was like, hey, I'm going to be in town. Going to come on the show and talk about GPUs. And they were like, hold on. And they were like, hey, Tap, or Tom Peterson is, I was like, yeah, okay, that's yeah, take him. You're good. Which was perfect because we ended up spending, because that would have been on Tuesday. Emmett and I ended up spending Tuesday going to Micro Center, which if you watch Emmett's channel, you would have seen the IRL stream of us at Micro Center. The VOD is on his channel on Twitch, twitch.tv/IMYT Emmett. You got to check it out. It was a lot of fun. Gary, welcome. How's it going? Can't wait to see it in person and make my case swap. Yeah. That's what I was going to say, though. Last year, after Computex, I extended my layover, which is already in San Francisco, and I went on the Full Nerd, and we also did a video, which is on PC World's channel, which is what's the difference between OEM and system integrator, and why should it matter to you? That was a great video. I rambled a lot, but we didn't plan anything. We were just like, hey, how about we talk about this? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. But anyway, that time, that's where Stream Ripper came from. Why is my PC restarting? It's updating, probably. Anyway, that's where Stream Ripper came from, because they just had piles of parts, and they were like, hey, do you? I was like, yeah, I need a new streaming PC, because I was having my 14900K issues, and of course, then I had Stream Ripper issues. That didn't work. But this time they were just like, hey, take a few what do you need? What do you want? And they had the live mixer Z790. The live mixer Z790. Yeah, Chris, that wasn't the only podcast that canceled on me. That's true. On this trip. That's very true. And so I had my heart broken twice. Very true. You're saying true stuff. Tuesday, I'm learning thanks to Dramatic Gaming. Nice. Should flipping on and using it, or the King 95 Pro in red with all my MSI components. Ah, right. PC World put their towers on the floor. Don't need cable management. Yeah. Gordon. Rest in peace, my friend. My first conversation with Gordon Ma-Ung in a video, and I ended up roasting him for putting his PC on the floor. And yeah, what a wonderful person was Gordon Ma-Ung. What a legacy. But yeah, so I'm gonna have a purple motherboard, and I have a fairly unused 14700K. So I should be able to build a pretty rad PC out of that, gaming PC out of that. That's probably going to go, I don't know, that's going to go somewhere. We'll see. I'm going to do something with that. If anything, that might be for the build stream, and then I'll end up putting a different CPU and motherboard in there. I just wanted to use the purple motherboard in a purple case, all right? Sue me. Okay, don't do that, please. That's okay. You roasted the other guy for using the pigtails. I did, and you know what? So did chat, and they voted for us to use the separate 8-pin cables, and he used the pigtail anyway. That was I imagine I was actually frustrated for a little bit, but then I was just like, he's trolling me. I know he is. This is fine. Purple is a cool motherboard color. Purple just makes everything better. IMO. I don't know if that was coming through, but I am a bit partial. Triple B, what's going on? How's it going? Bears, Beats, and Battlestars in the house, everybody. How's it going? If you have pets or small children, cable management will still be needed, even if it's on the floor. True. Oh, Big Ordy 66. I'm sorry I missed this earlier. To that guy who asked about setting. Oh, no, that's too far. I'm reading the wrong one. Thinking of upgrading from the system you assisted with 4 years ago. You still have discount codes with iBuyPower. iBuyPower, I don't think they've been keeping up with my discount codes, but we're probably going to be re-upping that soon. Currently, I would say my choice for price to performance is currently Skytech. They're kind of unbeatable at the moment. Now, someone asked me earlier, hey, I was scrolling up and I couldn't find it. Yeah, are you cooking anything up for Black Friday? Yes. Oh, wait, was I looking in the wrong chat? Is it in YouTube chat? Yes, Sailor. It was Sailor. You have something in the works for Black Friday. I do. For anybody with a 2K budget or so, right around that price point, plan on waiting a little bit. Plan on waiting for Black Friday. I'm cooking up something real fun. Did you visit with Skytech? I did not. That didn't end up working out, but I did. It actually worked out better for me. I ended up just doing TwitchCon in San Francisco instead of going to Ontario, then San Diego, then San Francisco. But the video idea we had, which I'm not going to divulge here, obviously, it's a fun video idea. That one's going to be on the back burner, and I'll go out there and do that one another time. Thank you for the posture check. I actually do need it. I'm very tired. So yeah, let me tell you a couple things about the trip. I've returned. I've listened to people using that Fifine AM8. Sounds good. I'll get that with the boom arm. Okay, cool. Yeah, don't like that is going to beat. Like, I don't understand. If you're mostly say using this for gaming, understand that you're going to smoke anyone who's just using the headset microphone of any headset. You're way ahead of the game, regardless. If you're using it for streaming, there are some streamers that actually use this microphone and don't see the need to upgrade until they get like sponsored to do it or something. Did you get Emmett the form? No. The screen from Thermal Take. Oh, well, he's talking to Mike directly. He doesn't need my help there, because you know, Mike was in the chat and he got the DM. So yeah. Also, I mean, Mike also told me to DM him for the screen. I'm kind of like wary of touching that PC now. I just want it to be there and work really well for video editing. I'm sort of in a place right now where I'm just like, I'm starting work on like 8 different projects. I need to focus on one and I cannot choose. But I do have a couple. And you guys can expect November to be the big return of long form content on the channel, with a rename for System Integrators Weekly, going over to PC Gateway finally, and Black Friday content. That's going to be really fun. Like maybe a special little journey that I'm going to undertake mid-November, for some cool live content based around that. I don't know. I'm just guessing. This is just speculation. Alucard, I'd like to make another purple build, but yeah, the motherboard is a challenge. I was thinking about changing the platform of my old synthwave build to a new case. There are some ASRock motherboards, Alucard, that have sort of a black, purple, blue aesthetic that could match well with... there's like 1 or 2 ASRock motherboards that I think could match that aesthetic pretty well. Oh, I was wondering, does the water cooling system you recommended to me come with a biocide for the coolant? I don't think I recommended a water cooling system, Servio. I'm pretty sure it was an all-in-one liquid cooler, meaning that it's not an open loop where you can change the liquid unless it has a refill port, okay? And then they would provide you with the standard. And most all-in-one liquid coolers already have everything they need in the liquid, including potentially a biocide. But I mean, biocide is really if it's filled in a clean environment, like a clean room or whatever, a clean environment, you don't really need biocide because it gets sealed off before bacteria can really propagate in there. Oh, the stinger isn't lit. My PC did reboot apparently, so I guess not all 3 of them restarted properly. But the eyes and the wings are lit. Yeah. Oh, the one on the wall. Oh, yeah. No, I turned that off when I was traveling. I forgot to turn it back on. My bad. I have no clue about any of the streaming stuff. Learning a little at the time. Thanks for letting me in on the raid. Mamatic got it. Keep smiling. All right, you got it. Mamatic, thanks for coming in with the raid. Appreciate that. And take care. I have an AIO install video I made a long time ago. I'm shocked at how many comments ask if it comes with a liquid or ask how to put the liquid in it. Chris, that's the thing. This is all stuff we just take for granted. It makes sense to us, but I promise you, there's stuff like you ever watch YouTube shorts or TikToks from Physics Duck? He talks about electrical engineering stuff all the time that to him makes complete sense, and he helps it make sense to the viewer. But before he said that, I would have had no idea about any of those things. And we just assume knowledge. And I think that to play on the safe side, we just have to err on the side of providing, even like you have to put yourself in the shoes of someone who is absolutely new to this. And anyone who's not absolutely new to this should be understanding that, okay, that part of the video wasn't for me, but okay, cool video. Very few AIOs are refillable. There's some Be Quiet models that even come with extra coolant, but their aesthetics might not be for all. That is true, but the newer Be Quiet AIOs or Chaos are gorgeous. Have you seen the diffusion on the CPU block for the RGB? Gorgeous. Would be nice if more AIOs could be refilled, but seems it might be best to just replace it if it goes bad. I hate to say that about any tech, Alucard, but when it comes down to it, yeah, I have to agree with that. I do like the option to refill, though. It should just be an option. It should. But then again, every motherboard over $150 should have a 7-segment error code display. Product release ideas. Some in one coolers. Empty AIOs that come with a liquid you have to put in. Chris, that's a great idea. Honestly, it's kind of like I was like, I want to build my first keyboard. And so I was like, oh, let me look at this GMMK Pro kit. This looks cool. I can build this. Yeah, it's mostly built. You're just putting in switches and then keycaps. I was like, yay, I built a keyboard, I guess. Thanks, Glorious. Benny Bieber, what's going on? Welcome. How's it going? Would love to refill them, but most non-builders and enthusiasts would give options to break the PC. Alucard, most people, if they're bound and determined to break a PC, they'll find a way. It doesn't matter. Or they'll never notice that it's refillable. Like, they'll never know. Maybe Gamers Nexus will start a movement to get the AIO manufacturers to cut down on e-waste. I don't think that all-in-one liquid coolers are the big... Think about this. Radiator can be recycled. Tubes, yeah, there's some non-biodegradable... There's obviously there's non-biodegradable stuff there, but in terms of volume, I don't think it's nearly as bad as something like, you know, OEM, PC part manufacturers. Because you look at something like a motherboard, that you can't just recycle most of that. Like, it's really, really difficult to separate all the materials for recycling. Whereas you can take an aluminum radiator and very easily recycle that. And aluminum is one of the most recyclable materials. So other than the pump and the tubes, which is 2/3 of the thing, at least a whole, or maybe it's like half of it, a radiator is a huge part of an AIO, and that's completely recyclable. So I think that instead there should be some movement in recycling AIOs, emptying them out, cleaning out the radiator, recycling the aluminum. Last Wednesday, before you did your Thermaltake build, Thermaltake Mike did a build where he put a root beer and vanilla ice cream in a liquid cooler. Yeah, he was sending me pictures, Bergie. It was great. So he did it before my stream, and then after my stream, we were chatting about the build, and he was telling me, yeah, just emptying out root beer. I was like, huh? I know, best to avoid the chances for more options to break the PC for a normal user that does not want to mess with their PC. I think if it's out of the way, they won't even know that the port is there to refill it. To me, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so let me talk about this trip a little bit, finally. Okay, so TwitchCon was fun. To be clear, TwitchCon is not like CES or Computex, trade shows, NAB, stuff like that. It's a con. It's a convention. It's I go there not because like I'm media. I go there because I have Twitch partner. I'm a partner level streamer, and that I like, that was something I achieved somewhat relatively early in my streaming career. And then, of course, I totally backslid on my viewer counts because of reasons, the market, everything, whatever. A bunch of stuff. Little being beaten to death with feathers is the explanation for that. But, of course, there's a lot of y'all that still come in and hang out, which is the best. And y'all are awesome. But anyways. But I enjoy TwitchCon. It's diminishing. And of course, there were issues, of course, at this TwitchCon, which some of y'all might know of. They might be aware of. They might be privy to, that you might have heard about, that you might have seen around the old internet. And terrible stuff that happened at that Twitch with someone assaulting a streamer. I'm not going to go over it in any detail here, but look that up if you need to. That was on day one as well. And I have thoughts about that. I have a lot of thoughts about that. A lot of frustrations about it. Like, they warned you, dude. They warned y'all. They said. And then you're like, nah, we're good. And then you're like, oh, we're not good. Yeah. Anyways. But I go there to hang out with my streamer friends and make new ones. I go there to hang out with the friends I've made at previous TwitchCons and make new friends. I guess I like TwitchCon for that. It's great. And I love San Diego. I hated it when they had TwitchCon in Vegas. That was lame and dumb. And I hope they don't ever do that again. I already have to go to Vegas once a year. That's my quota. I'm not doing more. Well, maybe now twice a year because of NAB if Newer wants me to keep going with them to that, which I would be totally open to. Anyway, moving on. So as it turned out, Fractal was putting on a PC build, basically the steps to PC building kind of display or seminar thing, where essentially they had a bunch of tables set up and attendees could go to each table, and each table had the steps of building PC. First was like, hey, here's the cases and what they look like, and hey, here's the motherboards and a CPU go in there, whatever, all the steps. The final one is where my buddy Splave was at doing actual LN2 XOC, liquid nitrogen extreme overclocking. And here's the thing. I understand LN2 XOC academically, and I appreciate it as a fan. I've never done it. So he was like, dude, come by, and you can pour some LN2, hang out, you know. As it turned out, I ended up just standing there next to Alan, next to Splave, and just like explaining everything to everyone as he was doing the overclocking. And that worked out beautifully. We have a meeting about some stuff. I need to reach out to them now that I'm back in town. And we've got some content coming up that we might be doing pretty soon. I do know at the very least, I'm going to be reviewing a PC from Splave PCs, a source for stable overclocked pre-built PCs from the pro himself. Skeeter, absolutely true. Yes, I congratulate him for being the only person to give their PVC typed. Hopefully it was flushed out and replaced with coolant to match the look of the old LTT T build. Oh yeah. I like the video where it was a company in the UK that fixed that. That was great. I loved it in Vegas. I can't stand Vegas. I can't stand. Once you go to Vegas for work one time, it ruins it. It ruins it. That's my take, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I heard that there was going to be an Austin Micro Center. Yes, and I'm maybe there's a chance I might be doing something about that, like doing something with that. Overclockers UK. It was them, yeah. At least it wasn't the whole foam pit a year or two ago. Yeah, well, it was pretty bad. The foam pit was just like a stupid idea, right? It was a dumb idea. Put nothing underneath this loose foam and let someone break their spine on it, right? That was stupid. This was negligent. And it makes, like, the foam pit is like, yo, that was unsafe. With what happened this year, not a single female streamer should feel safe at TwitchCon. And that sucks. Like, that's horrible. And especially the ones who aren't as big as Emiru and cannot afford personal bodyguards that have our growing community, and some of that community might feel entitled to you know. Anyways, again, I have thoughts about that, but I don't really want to get into it too much. Observer thoughts, what's going on? OMJC, I love your videos. Thank you. I loved that comment. It was great. Well done. TwitchCon too dangerous now, lol. It's just they like, okay, real quick, if you didn't pay attention to this, before TwitchCon, weeks before TwitchCon, you had some of the biggest names on the platform saying, I'm not going because I don't feel safe. because there have been some assaults to female streamers who have been streaming IRL. And stalking and all that stuff, it's not okay. Some attempted assault and stalking and all that. I don't feel safe at TwitchCon. They have pretty typically had fairly lame security. Unless you have no ill intentions. Then it feels like they have the strongest security ever. You know, but no, they don't. They don't. And they have meet and greets where people will know for certain that a streamer is going to be in a specific location for 1 or 2 hours, contractually obligated. So Dan Clancy, CEO of Twitch, comes out after those comments were made, the warnings and statements of I'm not going to TwitchCon because I don't feel safe, about how much they're prioritizing streamer safety and the public safety of TwitchCon. Yada yada, they're taking steps to blah blah blah. Day 1, someone waltzes into TwitchCon. I don't think they even had a wristband, okay, which they did wristbands this year instead of. They still had the badges, but they were just like souvenirs. Waltzes in past a couple levels of security, walks past the line for the meet and greet. Goes and assaults Emiru, one of the biggest streamers on the platform. Just goes right into her personal space, and it was attempted assault, which is about the same as assault, pretty much. And the person that saved her from this assaulter was her own security, not Twitch's security, who afterwards let the guy go. He just ran away, and they were just like laughing about it. Imagine that. Imagine. And then what do? They figured out who it was. They're like, we're going to give him a 30-day ban off of Twitch. That'll teach him. So she made very clear that a 30-day ban was bull. And talked about how Twitch handled it afterwards. Like messing up. Okay, you messed up. Handle it right. They're like, no. What do you think? We are a good company? And so the guy's banned permanently from both the website, which, I mean, there's no possible way he could ever, make just a new email account. And from attending TwitchCon in person, which I don't see them enforcing that. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people that go and get in line for TwitchCon. He can create a new account, whatever, have a fake ID. I don't know. Hey, Bod AAA, what's going on? Welcome. Is Dan himself being sleazy the whole time? Yeah, that night, Dan Clancy was out partying with the big name streamers and being reportedly, allegedly being sleazy. So like, they don't care. They don't care. The only point at which they actually cared was when some Amazon executives showed up and basically were like, hey, could you like stop partying for 5 minutes so that we can talk with you? To Dan. Apparently that was a big deal. And after that, the AI generated apology definitely came out. Oh, nice, a nice coupon code. Very nice, Vaquero. It seemed very empty there. Where? At TwitchCon? It wasn't. You have meet and greets? I don't. TwitchCon does. It was TwitchCon. I am not big enough to justify a meet and greet. That's for sure. We're talking about people who have thousands of people on, in their live chat like that, in their chat like that. I have run into people, by the way, who are actually, there was someone who was working TwitchCon security, a totally different part of TwitchCon security, by the way, different aspect. He wasn't involved in this or anything. Who used to be a viewer, actually, just hadn't for a while. And that happens a lot where someone gets the PC they need and they're like, cool, I have gotten great value out of this channel and its content. I'm good to go. and they don't feel the need to stick around. That's fine. I do get that. How you been, brother? Been good. Just got back from TwitchCon and all that. Pretty tired, but doing good. Need to get their stuff together, and hopefully security will be improved over the years. If TwitchCon continues, who even knows at this point? Bray meet and greets. I would love to. I would love to, WX fan, but you know, maybe we'll get there at some point. The new series should help. Yo, Mikey, what's going on? Thank you for the welcome back. Appreciate that. If you need security at TwitchCon, hit me up. It's not really up to me. No, it's not fine. They lame. The real G's hang out forever. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. That is fair. Don't worry. The guy who assaulted her got a 24-hour ban. It's honestly a damn joke. It was a 30-day ban, but now he's banned for life. I get that. His email is banned from Twitch.tv. I'm subscribed for you as a person. Thank you, MJC. Appreciate that. Brothers doing security both online and offline. Hell yeah. Okay. Other stuff about the trip. I don't think anyone has. I could look at that motherboard, and of course we got WX fans thing. So I don't know. There's some interesting stuff cooking up from my time with Splave and Fractal, because that just meshed really well. I feel like, dude, it's impossible to explain that thing where you meet somebody and you immediately click. That's, you know, I'm not just the only one saying that. Alan was the same way. He was like, dude, we work really well together. Let's make some more content. And so at some point, we're probably going to be heading out to Austin. He's got a friend who has a studio there. We'll do some live streaming, do a PC build, do some LN2 overclocking, stuff like that. I have a little video that I recorded for the TwitchCon thing. That should just serve as like a preview for the other stuff we're going to be doing. Yeah, one sec. Okay, now post TwitchCon, going and hanging out with Emmett. Emmett, for those who don't know, we've rated him a few times. He is a speedrunner, retro gamer, streamer guy. That's another dude who I got along with really well right away, and we became friends, and it was good. Like, but he needed a new PC. He told me, "All right, I'm gonna be buying a new, building a new PC or upgrading mine." And we did basically what I do, where I know the needs, I min-max it out, and then I was like, I'm gonna be in SoCal for TwitchCon. What if I go up to San Francisco after and I'll build it live on stream? And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. So that's what I did. Packed up a bunch of cameras and lights, took them all up there. We also got to go on our first trip to his first trip to Micro Center. Also, SM Charles, a friend of his, now I would like to say a friend of mine, went along for his first Micro Center trip as well. And we live streamed from Micro Center on Emmett's channel. Go check out that VOD. It was really fun. And got a couple parts there. And man, I got to tell you, this whole thing, for those who don't know, storage and RAM right now are at a premium. Micro Center was almost out of most high performance memory kits. There was one kit, or one type of kit, in two colors, basically, which was the Team Group T Create in 96 gigs DDR5 6400 CL32. There was just that brand of kit left. All the rest have been cleaned out. Thankfully, he had already bought his storage, but also apparently Gen 5 isn't as affected as Gen 4. But prices on storage on M.2 SSDs, particularly Gen 4 M.2 SSDs and RAM, are going up. So that's crazy. It's crazy. Like, Micro Center not having a thing is crazy, other than GPUs during the GPU shortages. Dude, it's insane. I know. It's crazy. Angry Beaver, what's up? How's it going, bud? Yo, Braithorn, you think it's time to upgrade to an Ultra 245K if I'm still on AM4? Emesis, if you're running well, if it's still running, there's no time to upgrade. It's just when stuff isn't working like it should, once you can't run a certain new game or something, or you upgrade to a 4K monitor from like 1080p, you ain't got to upgrade nothing if everything's working. You might want to wait until Nova Lake if you want to go back to Intel, or you can go over to AM5. Because if you're looking for the best you can get right now, you need to do it. The Core Ultra 200S, I think, is super underrated. It is actually so good. For most of the people who talk smack about it haven't really used it. They were just told it's bad. I'm sorry, I have a lot of thoughts on that. I've ranted about it many a time. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so first off, I had the best ramen of my life in San Francisco. I have not been to Japan yet. Okay, so yeah, San Francisco has really good ramen. Okay, they have really good food. Every restaurant I go to whenever I'm in San Francisco is insane. It's insanely good because the cost of living is expensive there. The cost of having a restaurant open is very high. If you don't have amazing food, you're not going to last in San Francisco. 265K price was bad, but now it's great. There was a point, Rurutu, where the 265K got down to like $208. And it's been under $300 ever since. Fantastic. Fantastic deal. Hi, all from Montana. Ms. Guru, welcome. What's up? I'd recommend going with AM% instead of the 245K, to be honest with you, since you have more upgrade options there, Emesis. Well, Alucard, you know the deal. We don't know what they're doing with the PC. So if it's like, hey, I need it for my video editing PC, Intel's going to win. Intel's going to be better. And if they don't care about upgrading, well. But still, if you have a working system, Emesis, I wouldn't change anything until I think we're on the cusp of the next generation of Ryzen CPUs for AM5, which could be a good buy-in point for the current generation because that's going to drop in price, yada, yada. You know how that stuff goes. My whole thing about waiting is only going to be my message to people now if they already have a working system and they're looking to upgrade or build a new one or buy a new one. If you already have something working, then and we're a couple months away from new stuff, yeah, wait. If you don't have anything and you need something, now is actually a pretty good time to buy, other than storage and RAM. But it's funny, Mikey, think about this, because you're saying, dude, it's insane with the storage and RAM thing. Just a few months ago, that was the GPUs. That was GPUs. It's like we're fated to have something overpriced, even though you can get GPUs, quite a few of them. Well, a number of them for MSRP now. But yeah. Much better now. I wish there was an upgrade path for the platform. There's supposed to be a refresh. We'll see if they even do that. I don't know. If you have a 5070 $2,000 PC, how many FPS would you have on PC on Fortnite? Kim Kieran, I'm going to tell you, if you're looking for an FPS calculator, it is not in this coconut right here. I am not an FPS calculator, and an FPS calculator would ask you for more information than just the price of your PC and what GPU it has in it. You're going to need to know what your CPU is, probably what your RAM is, what the RAM speed is. There's a lot of variables, and I just can't know a GPU and how much you spent on it and crank out a FPS number. Besides, even if I told you an FPS potential number, you could easily ruin that by having 12 Chrome tabs open and not having enough RAM, or you're running Norton for some reason and it's just dragging down your system, or you have your settings set to ultra, which you should never do, especially in a competitive game. Ultra settings are wasteful. High settings is more than anyone needs when it comes to visual clarity, fidelity, visual good looks on a game. It's just, yeah. I look for a balance usually. I usually don't set anything to ultra unless I'm running benchmarks. But yeah, basically, an FPS number is only part of the story because you can have high average FPS, but a really low 1% or 0.1%, meaning that when your frame rate drops, it drops a lot and it's jittery. It's an unpleasant experience. FPS is so malleable. It's not the measure that you want when it comes to. You just want to just make sure that it's the PC's within your budget. It works for the monitor that you have. If you're doing 1440p, 5070 is great. And that you find a way to get comfortable with adjusting the settings in any game you're going to play, because every game runs differently. There's no guaranteed FPS ever. I don't care what website tells you what. The ultimate defining factor of frames per second is you. You can very easily go in and change that, and suddenly your FPS tanks. You go change your settings, you turn on all the fancy features, which you shouldn't do in Fortnite, unless you have a 5090 and a 9800 X3D, and it does not matter, because then you have the highest end PC in the world, right? The highest end gaming PC money can buy right now. Anyways, yeah, my hero says you should go plus ultra. Well, Ameridan, I don't think that exists in graphic settings. There usually it goes up to ultra, but I bet you, so I know that there was a Switch title for My Hero Academia. If there's a PC one and it doesn't have a plus ultra setting preset for the graphics, I would be very disappointed. That's one game where I might do it just for the meme. Recently moved 5060 Ti, replaced it with Asus. Okay, 4080 Super OC edition. I don't think that's crazy. The 4080 trounces the 5060 Ti. Like, it's way more powerful. Any Best Buy around the area? Well, we didn't take an hour-and-a-half train to go to Best Buy. Or it was an hour train. We took the baby bullet train, where it's called a bullet train because it skips a couple stops. It's not a bullet train. Caltrain is interesting. But we did live stream from the train too. That was pretty fun. Okay. I will remind you guys, if you're looking for PC help, throwing it out into chat, sure, that's great, I guess. But I have a forum for that specific purpose. If you're looking for recommendations, you can just talk in chat, and then I have to drag information out of you. All right, what are you gonna be doing with your PC? Okay, you're gonna do that. What resolution is your monitor? Okay, do you want a black one or white one? Okay, what's your budget? What's your budget? I have a forum for that. That makes that whole thing run easier. And speaking of forums, so we have some people who did fill out the form, who have been waiting for help patiently. Oh, I know Alucard's one of them. The most recent one here. But WX, I'm going to ask you real quick. Do you want to just hop on a call tomorrow? Instead of me doing this here? Oh, you're by the Cambridge Micro Center. Interesting. That's very interesting, actually. And you're building it yourself. Awesome. Okay. Well, that does leave a lot of possibilities. When you're building it yourself, you save a good amount. Whether you get it built by Micro Center for $250, which is apparently, by the way, I went to the Santa Clara Micro Center, and apparently they only have like a few builders, and they're way behind on their queue. Like, they're days and days behind their same-day build service. I was told this by a person there, by an employee there. So they're like 5-6 days out when you pay $250 for same-day build service. But it's not their fault, because Micro Center headquarters won't hire more builders. This is the first negative thing I've ever heard from a Micro Center employee. Everyone that I've talked to prior has had only good things to say. But this is a new store, and I guess they're figuring out how many employees they got to have. Because if they can find that perfect balance of having enough employees to keep, the services running well, but not overstaff and have scheduling issues and things like that, that takes time, I guess, at a new location. But that's their new shiny location. I'm getting my first PC ever on November 15th. I want to know how to get better performance what to have for the PC and what not to have for PC. Okay, well, I'll tell you, Kim, I am working, depending on what your budget is. Like, every one of the people here is actually a little over budget for this. But I am working on something which is going to be around the $2,000 mark. That is going to be a killer deal for Black Friday. Okay? I can't say more than that. But it's something that I think you guys are going to flip out over. Okay? Flip right out of there. If they can pay me enough to live there, I would sign up. Alucard, you're so kind. You're so kind. If TwitchCon needs security, they can just let me know. And also, if Micro Center can just, pay my cost of living, I might sign up to build some PCs over there. You're just volunteering for everything. Look at you. So magnanimous. Oh, David, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Mazer Guru, here's what I'd like to know. What's the best way to get better sound quality? Just new headphones? Or is there hardware or software solutions just for listening to metal? If you want to get into audiophile stuff, get yourself an amp and a DAC. That's not really my content. I get great audio out of my audio interface that handles my XLR microphone. It also has a great preamp for audio. And I can run my high impedance headset off of that, which gives really good sound. But you don't need a mic interface. That's not what we're talking about, right? But yeah, no, if you're looking for that, I would say go check out Bad Seed Tech, Mazer Guru. There it is. Go check out Bad Seed Tech on YouTube. Brian's awesome. He really knows his stuff when it comes to audio, headsets, IEMs like the ones I'm wearing here. He's the one who recommended these right here. These Truthier Critical Zeros. I love these IEMs. But yeah, so go check out Bad Seed Tech's YouTube channel. Tons of content, and he goes over a lot of audio stuff there. I typed it. It's there. You don't have to type it. And also, it's not Bad Seed Tech. As I typed right above that, or above Alucard, which is above you, Bad Seed Tech. It's like seeds for plants. Bergie, unfortunately, no. I am not a qualified therapist, so no psychological help is available through the forum. I can confirm last purchase for my headset was because Bray recommended Bad Seed Tech. It's been amazing. Brian's awesome, dude. Telling you, I am not necessarily. Instead of being an expert and trying to be an expert in every category of tech, I just became a connoisseur of tech content, and I will try to direct you the right way whenever I'm requested help on something I'm not too familiar with. How to change resolution on PC. Generally, the resolution will default to the right one if you have it'll go to the monitor's native resolution. If your monitor's native resolution is 1440p, Windows will default to that. The only thing you need to make sure you do is set it to the right. So here, I'm going to show you. Essentially, if you go to your desktop, right-click on the desktop, go to Display Settings, and then I know this is a weird setup, okay? That's just how my monitors are shaped around my camera, okay? And you go to Advanced Display. You need to make sure you're at the highest number for your refresh rate. It will default to 60 hertz. That means you will spend however many dollars you're going to spend on your monitor. Like, 240 hertz, 500 hertz, QD OLED, whatever. It'll be running at 60 until you come in and tell it, nah, give me my hertz. Don't forget to do that, and do that for every monitor. Make sure you're on the highest of whatever it offers. My top monitor is low. It's supposed to be 120. You see? I don't game on that one. Why did it mess up my... no, I'm reverting. I am reverting. It messed up everything. It made my stream want to freeze. What the heck? It did not like that. Windows is Windows. All right. It's not my fault. Jan H, what's up? Is it best just to wait for Black Friday at this point? Depending on your budget. Hoping to get a pre-build for gaming and some editing for around 1600. Found some good models. Just wondering if waiting till Black Friday could possibly fetch a better deal. I will have a video on Black Friday, some Black Friday deals, but understand, Jan H, it's so hard to make these videos that cover PCs that get sold out in a matter of an hour or two or less. That what I strive to do every year now is work with a specific SI to have a batch of like 100 PCs or so that are collab systems that I aim for different budgets, whatever. This year we're aiming for around 2K though, so it is a little over where you're at. But yeah, that's the thing, is I'm mostly focused on that for Black Friday. But I will have an overall video going over Black Friday deals, because I'm going to reach out to every SI and be like, hey, hit me up with a heads up on what deals you're going to have for Black Friday. I'm not talking about the watered down, please, Black Friday starts today. No, you're still going to come out with the real deals on Black Friday. That's how that works. And those are the deals I want to know about so that I can inform you guys. But I am going to have a collab thing for Black Friday this year. Those who missed out on it last year, they've had to hear certain chatters coming in and being like, still loving my Breathorn Skytech PC and yada yada, because they were great. Can confirm last okay, yeah. So good, we bought 2 sets. Nice. Which headset was that? Got an ad. If they have a 4K display, it might default them at 200 to 300% scaling, which is if it's a small. Yeah, that's true. Scaling is another thing. I'm leaving that. This is just my chat monitor, so I'm just leaving it like that. Scaling is another thing. If everything looks too big or too small, you go to scaling and you adjust it up or down depending on what you want. This is how I like it, so that's what I'm doing on that monitor. Actually, that's fine for this one actually. And it's going to be different for each or not. Yeah, this one's a 1440p monitor. I have that at 125%. Which one are we working with this time? Nope, it is not with Jeff again. That was an option, but they were just too busy. It's good to be busy in this market, I'll tell you, but they are. Can you run 240 FPS on PC if you have 5070 RTX with a monitor 240 Hz and 1440p? Kim? Huh? I mean, I don't know if you're going to hit 240 FPS. The thing is, Kim, most people who play competitively in games like Fortnite, if you're trying to really compete, you'll aim for a 1080p, very high refresh rate monitor. 240, 360 Hertz up there, like, or higher, but 360, 240, those are good numbers. 1440p, you're angling for better visual quality too, better resolution. You're going to lose some FPS doing that. But I don't know I don't play Fortnite, so I don't know how demanding it is, honestly. The PC 38X by Sennheiser. Nice. Sennheiser is rad. Steve, welcome. How's it going? Thank you for leaving a like. If you're watching on the YouTube side of things, feel free to take a moment out of your very busy day, evening, to click on the like button if you like me. I don't know. You don't have to. Anyway, WX, I don't know if you're still here. I'll just shoot you DM. There we go. One good thing, Alucard, is that Santa Clara is about an hour out of San Francisco proper, where things are dreadfully expensive. But California in general is a very expensive place to live. Not the most expensive cost of living in the U.S. That honor, I believe, goes to somewhere in Maryland. I think one of the high, of course, New York City, incredibly high cost of living. There's multiple all out there. Adam, welcome. Enjoy your 2x lurk. California's just crazy expensive. Yep. I mean, let's be honest. Everywhere you go in the U.S., cost of living have been rising all year. It's been very, very rough. Sounds good. Can't wait for the Black Friday video. Dying to get my first PC. Jan, if that's something you're looking forward to, pay attention to the channel round about mid-November. There should be some live streaming happening, and not from this location. I'm honestly really, really down for streaming other than in here. It is a totally different vibe, and I think I click with it immediately. It just feels great. It's exciting. You know, you should have seen Emmett's face when I rolled up with like all my gear. I had a duffel bag full of lights and light stands, and then my camera bag with cameras and lenses and just all the stuff. Man, I transformed his whole living room. It was fantastic. What a fun stream. What a fun time. And what a great host. Emmett's such a really good host. Like, he's just like, oh, we're a block away from Japantown. Let's like go here. We're a few blocks from here or whatever. Not a block away from Japantown, but like, I don't remember what we did. It was really fun. It was really fun. I don't know where we went. Wherever we went, it was really cool. I don't know. We had ramen. It wasn't in Japan. It wasn't in Japantown. It was actually closer to my Airbnb. IMYT. Triple B. IMYT. I was lucky 13 on the like spray, fitting for Halloween week, I guess. I got no problem with the number 13. Nice round number. I would think New York is one of them for sure. Yeah, New York is spiraling out of control. There's a lot of places that, like, if the cost of living across the country is kind of going up, definitely going up. The places where it was already high can seem to be spiraling out of control for good reason. Alucard, let's hear about this motherboard you were talking about. Okay, X870 Aorus Elite X3D. This is like so we worked with a version of this motherboard, the white version of this motherboard, on the PC World stream. Pretty nice. I think it has bifurcation though. If it's like the other one was. Let's find out. Yeah, that's the one we built with. No, that's the older one. I think there was a slightly newer version. I don't think that's the X3D one. Yeah, this is the one that we built with right here on the stream. I don't know how I feel about the way they moved the onboard HDMI to here, like the internal HDMI, instead of having it coming sideways off the motherboard. I don't know. I haven't built a system where I used that, so I don't know. Cost of living. Looking at DDR5 lately just makes me sad. It's hit $150 for silicon powered DDR5. Yeah, or Chaos. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it, but when we went to Micro Center in Santa Clara, they had like none. It was crazy. I only saw the bifurcation issue with the USB with one of the M.2 slots. So that's probably going to be for the USB 4. Let's take a look. Specification. Yeah, they tend to be mixing PCIe with the USB 4 and M.2 now. Which... This thing has 5 M.2 sockets. Just don't use the secondary Gen 5 and you should be fine. The M.2B connector shares bandwidth with the AS Media USB 4. There it is. USB 4 controller. Yeah, when a device is installed in the M.2B CPU connector, M.2B CPU connector, and the USB 4 port supported, both operate. It splits it. It bifurcates that. So You can have 4 lanes for USB 4 or 4 lanes for or 2. Okay, never mind. When using a blah 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 blah. Okay. So if we go here to, first off, let's take a look at the I/O on this thing. It's very good. Not their best, but it's quite good. As a, what was the purpose of this one? You would have marked that down, I'm sure. Gaming and streaming. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Yes, great, perfect. Open image and new tab for Pete's sake. Okay. Would I recommend this for streaming? You'd have 5 gig Ethernet. I like that motherboards are starting to have power and reset buttons on the rear I/O. That's pretty cool. Is this less? I think this is less than the white motherboard. Hold up. Unless the one I was looking at was Aorus Master. Oh no, yeah, no. Look at this. Look at this. This has, you can tell right away, dual Ethernet on this one. This is so the one we built with was the Aorus Master, not the Elite. This had better I/O, but it also has bifurcation here. Let's see if this has it actually. I didn't look at the PCIe slots. Expansion slots. Here we go. Yeah, this is actually better in terms of PCIe slots for streaming, because you have 2 of these running. One's running PCIe Gen 4 X4, so for your capture card that goes there, and the other one is running PCIe 3.0 X2. You can run a USB card there, and that would drastically improve the I/O situation on this motherboard. So I can approve this for streaming. Yes, I can. All those USB 4 makes it more like a Mac, annoyingly. Or Chaos, the thing is, to me, it's not that bad of a thing to go from... Actually, I need to double check how many this one has. So this one looks like it goes 1, 2, 3. This one only has 3 M.2 sockets, and one of them is going to bifurcate your USB 4. That's not great. How can this just have 3? This is space for at least 4 M.2 drives, maybe 5. But that's what it says. Look. Storage interface. Oh. It has 4. It has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're left with 3. One of them running at PCIe Gen 5, 2 running at PCIe Gen 4. The second Gen 5 M.2 connector, you don't touch it. If you're going to be using something like a USB 4 hub, you need full throughput. Don't touch that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got it eventually a la carte. I often when they have this big old paragraph thing or just this big old list, I will sometimes miss that there's more than one in here. These are both direct to CPU, and they separate the CPU ones and the chipset ones. So yeah, that was on me. I forgot that I brought up the desktop thing earlier, so I wasn't showing the full thing here. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Just consider, you know, if it's for streaming, I don't know how serious they are about streaming. If they're very serious about streaming and they're going to need something to put a really good capture card in there, either a multi HDMI capture card for like multiple camera angles with mirrorless cameras, or if they're going to be capturing something like a Switch 2, which actually has, 4K 60, or a PlayStation 5 Pro or a PS5 Pro or whatever. Use that PCIe Gen 4 X4 slot for a capture card. If not, you can do an X4 USB card, and this does up to 10 gigabit per second. So, yeah, I can approve this thing. This is good. That was a big thing. I wanted to make sure, since I wanted to know if it was good for streaming, as that led me to be concerned. I think he's getting into it from what my colleague mentioned. Well, good. The thing about okay, let's talk about this. Why do I get so into it when someone says streaming or video editing, and they're like, "Ah, but it's not. I'm just gonna. It's just a hobby or whatever." If that ever changes, the PC parts I recommended will accommodate that. That's very important to me. This is, it's like you put a plant into a small pot, it can't grow very big. You put a small plant into a big pot, that thing can grow as big as it wants. Well, just bigger than the smaller. Okay. You get it. You get it. How do you get a virus so we won't actually accidentally get one? Don't go to websites you shouldn't, and scan with Windows Defender regularly. Kim. I'm on my mom's account on YouTube. Oh, okay. I see. And so I wanted to ask you about it before making any changes. I was going to change the 5080 to 5070 Ti if I needed to upgrade the motherboard. Well, Alucard, that's the thing, is if someone is streaming, okay, to be clear, I'm currently running 2 programs that require encoding, Meld and OBS. It's a long story. I am eventually going to switch solely over to OBS, but Meld is just, it's just such a simple solution. Please forgive me, Mark. I'm sorry. Finite singularity. Yeah, I'm gonna add you to the OBS nerds group so we can all hang out. And I'm just there, just like that meme, the person in the corner, just like they don't know I'm kind of stuck using Meld right now, which steals some things from like finite singularity, for example. Like some of the effects are stolen from his plugins. Not very cool of you, Meld. Anyway, I'm talking viruses in PC. Yes, Kim, I did respond to that. I said don't go to websites you don't trust, and run scans with Windows Defender. Windows Defender for Windows 11 is pretty comprehensive. Like, it's come a long way. I'd like to know that to get a better deal on how to use OBS properly or recommend it for others. I was going to say, I'm running that all on a 5070 Ti. The 2 separate encoding programs, right? Or programs that require encoding. That's on a single NVENC. The 5080 has dual NVENC. And for a streaming PC, I would generally recommend that if you think you might get really serious about it. And the kind of stuff like right now, I currently lent Emmett a loaner card of a 4070 Ti Super because we're a couple months out potentially from 50 series super cards, and I didn't, I asked him, I was like, do you think you would care if new GPUs came out 2 months after you bought yours? He was like, yeah. So I just gave him a loaner card, and that's a friend of mine, right? Like, and I'm just gonna get that back once he gets the super card. Head out, gonna check out Bad Seed Tech. Catch you next time. You got it, Mesa Guru. You got it. We'll be here talking about computers and stuff. Real quick, guys, I am gonna run but other than the one issue with that motherboard, I think it should be good to go, right? Yeah. Yeah, I have no real qualms with this motherboard. I think it is a pretty significant downgrade from the Aorus Master X3D, obviously, but it's probably a lot cheaper. The Aorus Master X3D is like $650. Definitely gonna use a 5080 at that point. I forgot the dual encoder in 5080. Yeah, there was a stretch of time where I forgot that too. Ashvid123, welcome. How's it going? Gaming, streaming, homework, and AI as it's for my colleague's son's build. Oh, okay. Got you. It's going good. Can't ask someone for more than that, right? Yeah, like 400 versus 650 would make sense to use that. Yeah, yeah. And the max budget is 2,400 for your records. Right. Okay, I'll go ahead and... It's always a little funny whenever you just want to discuss something on stream. Because, like, you can DM me. And just like, hey, what do you think about this thing for a streaming build? I'll take some time out to do that. Or the other option is I don't catch the DM and I see you on stream. Just feel free, man. I mean, you've been a techie for the Discord for so long, helping keep that running smoothly. Like anytime, whatever, you know. 5080 is good for a $2,400 budget. Indeed, it is. And this is a pretty solid motherboard for this too. I gotta say, like, I did have a crash out over 1 or 2 gigabyte motherboards having unfortunate bifurcation. I think they got over that hiccup pretty quickly. Like they got back to making some pretty rad motherboards. The Z890 Aorus Master that several of us have now, apparently, it's just such a good motherboard. I mean, that system's running so good. I lent out my tester GPU to a friend as he said he needed it for his daughter after a hardware failure. I ended up giving it to one of her friends. However, it was GTX 950, so no big deal, but it was nice to have a GPU that required no PCIe power. Moment of silence for your GTX 950. The thing is, Org Chaos, it's a little bit different because I very publicly lent the GPU to Emmett on his stream, and we're both like, to some extent in the public, I just put him on blast if he doesn't give it back. But no, I'm like, it's fine. Franktastic 757, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Let's go, nerds. What's your thoughts about MSI X870E Carbon Wi-Fi motherboard? Franktastic 757. That's a rad motherboard in terms of like the USB ports. The power delivery is really good. The aesthetics are awesome. My problem with that motherboard is that there's 3 PCIe slots. You can't use a second one without cutting off half of the lanes of your first one. So it really depends on what you're using it for. If you think you're going to use like multiple capture cards for a crazy streaming system, don't go with that. If you don't need that, it's a really good motherboard. Bit pricey, but really good. Yeah. It's got all the USB 4 you need. It's got tons of very fast USB ports on there. All 10 gigabit per second Type A ports. And there's like, I don't know, 12 of them or something. It's quite good. Yeah, but just knew it was easier to work with you on stream since both of us tend to be quite busy when on stream. That's fair. That's very true. I cheaped out on my motherboard really hard, and I feel the consequences. Ashfed, at least it's not the consequences you could feel by cheaping out on the power supply. One of the things that I run into whenever you cheap out on the motherboard, I show these things on stream all the time because these can be a lifesaver. What you don't want to run out of is, especially if you're into tech and you're into connecting stuff to your PC, USB ports. These are like $30 right here. Just PCIe USB add-in card. It's better than a hub. because a hub is, it has its own USB controller on there, which then connects to the USB controller, the USB port on the motherboard, which goes into another USB controller, which then goes into either the chipset or whatever. This has its own USB controllers on it that go directly into PCIe lanes. It skips one of those extra USB controllers. There's a very real benefit to that. And depending on how many lanes you have, whether the slot that you'd be plugging this into has 1 or 2 or 4 lanes, generally you're going to see these in 1 or 4 lane varieties, which is going to be this one, which is 4 lanes, or a shorter connector than this, a connector that like comes out to here, whatever, shorter connector. Comes out to like there. That is going to have slower speeds, but still, like this one goes up to 10 gigabit per second on the USB-C ports. The X1 card will go up to 5 gigabit per second, but it's much needed I/O if you cheaped out on your motherboard. Because I don't know why, but motherboard manufacturers, except for a few exceptions, and I tend to single those out every generation, they put I/O behind a paywall. They put USB ports behind a paywall. It sucks. But that right there can fix it. I recommend those all the time. How many lanes does it take up? Like I said, some are going to take up 1 lane, some will take 4. You got to know what your motherboard can provide and buy the right one for that. But yeah, I will aim with all that is in the list, since that should perform pretty well with what he needs. 9800X3D, Thermalright, good AIO. You got a good motherboard there, as we saw. Trident Z5 Neo, 32 gigs. Already purchased. That's unfortunate. I would have looked for more. Like, I don't know what it is. 32 gigs for anything more than gaming is becoming not quite enough, it seems. Okay. And I say that as someone who had 32 gigs in this system, and then with all the tabs I would have open here, it wasn't enough for me. I wasn't even running a game. I just had a lot of Chrome tabs open, and I was streaming. And I was like, I better put it. I have a 64 gig kit. I better throw it in there. And I did, and it helped. RAM's becoming hard to pick up. However, I can switch it if needed. I would go 48 or 64 on this. Remember, with that extra RAM capacity, it's better to have it and not need it. Especially if we don't know specifically what games are going to be played in the future, which we can't know that. Well, Braithorn, missing these past few days, man. Will, welcome. Welcome. I am back. I'm back. I'm tired. I wasn't expecting to actually go this late. I was expecting to maybe have an hour and a half stream at most, but yeah. I still think I got a pretty good deal though, because it's USB-C Wi-Fi and has tons of I/O, but the feature's lacking. Picked up for $109, but I want to get something nicer, probably on Black Friday. Yeah, okay, keep an eye out. We had some really fantastic motherboard deals out there for if you were looking at an Intel system, Intel Gamer Days. I will say this as many times as I need to, and I'm not an Intel fanboy, okay? I was very critical of them over how they handled 13th and 14th gen. They are not good at certain things over there. But Core Ultra 200S, low-key, dynamite CPUs, like really good, especially with the price drops. I think Emmett got his 285K for like it was under 500. It was like 470. So the top consumer desktop CPU for Premiere Pro for that price, for $200 less than a 9950X3D, that it beats handily in Premiere Pro. That's awesome. That's nice. I'll look around for it, and hopefully we'll be within budget. I was given very little info on games, so I just went 32 gigs for the time being. See, if I have specific info, then I'll choose the lower end option if there's any room in the budget. If I have vague info, I try to overshoot what I might assume. Just because, I don't know. It's games are getting less and less optimized, man. AAA titles are just like, they're just like crapping them out, dude. There's like no optimization happening. I like the Performance Plus 2 terabyte. That's a great drive. But I might have said look for a sale on a Gen 5 drive, because they're getting awfully close in price. especially with the fact that Gen 4 drives are affected more than Gen 5 SSDs. And this motherboard can handle that. But either way, it's fine. 5080 PNY, great brand, great card. Thermaltake Series 350, nice case. Montech Century 2, that is such a goated power supply right now, according to the tier lists. And my eyes and my brain, it's a goated PSU. I need to have their card. I need to reach out. Guys, I'm so bad about following following up on certain things after events. I need to be better about that. I can sneak in the 48 or 64 gigs as an additional surprise. That would be really nice of you, actually. You charge them for it. I mean, why not? I got 155H in my laptop, and that thing's battery lasts forever. The mobile chips are cooking. PNY 5080 is so clean. PNY is really like, they might be the MVPs of add-in board partners in 2025. Because they were some of the first to actually, they're some of the only to be like, hey, here's an MSRP option that you can sometimes actually buy close to MSRP. And then like they are consistently the best option and at MSRP at like Micro Center and online retailers. Like PNY is like not only really good at building GPUs, Quattro cards, enterprise GPUs, for the longest time. They're not only really good at that, they understand that like, hey, we can just like overclock this and sell it at MSRP anyway and not charge $300-400 extra, Asus. Then $300-400 extra is putting it mildly. That's being generous to Asus. Good Lord. Just forget it if the color gold is even near a GPU. They'll be like, $3,000 5080. Shut up. Anyway, I don't know. Asus needs to read the room. Like, I don't think it's just the fact that like, oh, this is we're the high quality brand with a bad track record for customer support. Yeah, good job being the high quality brand. But like, the world economy has been just like just shaken all of 2025, and they're like, you know, sure, Dubai gold GPU, and then like, oh, actual gold GPU, and they're just like, oh, you know, the Astral, premiering the Astral now they did this at CES before the economy took a massive nosedive. They were locked in. But they have not stopped. And it's only gotten worse. Like, they've been releasing more and more expensive GPUs. Like, can we stop for a second? More to adding a Zorro figure and cable extension as surprises. Nice. I respect my colleague since he's one of the sysadmins of my work. It's helped me so much in the past. That's awesome. That's very cool. You talking about Roronoa Zorro or like old school Zorro? I spent $800 on a 9070 XT days after launch. MSRP is a joke. Guys, I'm so excited. And this is like the reason I love going to PC World when the PC World studio and office whenever I go to San Francisco is, you know, hanging out with Adam and the team. They're amazing. And also we get to do a stream or a video or whatever, and that's super fun. But it's not just that motherboard that they parted with that they're going to be sending me. No, they didn't have any 5090s. I had like two 5090s, and they need them for testing and stuff. I was like, no, I already know they're not going to have those. Most, even with an outfit like PC World, okay, they're legitimate journalism, okay, they're legitimate tech journalism. It's just hardware was hard to come by for a lot of this year, and by the time the review cycles were over, if you got hardware, great. If you didn't, oh well. What are you going to do? Put up a review months later? Nobody cares. So anyway. Yeah, he was like, have you gotten a 9070 XT for testing? I'm like, no, I haven't been able to put my hands on one. No SI sent me one, nothing. He was like, well, I got you there. So he's going to send me a 9070 XT. like 3 different motherboards. And just like, he every time I go there, the second time, and it's the second time he puts together a care package for me. Because he knows, as a pre-built reviewer, I don't get hardware. I don't get loose hardware. Or if I do, it's extremely rare. So, just shout out to PC World. Adam, Will, the whole crew, Willis, all those guys. Just amazing people. Awesome people. So fun to hang out with. I wish we had had days instead of part of a day to hang out. But those are some people that it doesn't matter how much time passes. It feels like when we're hanging out again together, it's like no time has passed at all. Fantastic people. Cable extensions are pretty cheap, but they make computer look 10 times better. True. I don't really trust Arson cable extensions though. Is there a cable extension brand called Arson, Ashved? That would be a terrible name for a brand of something that could potentially cause a fire. I include them in every build for that reason. They just help with the look and aesthetic while making cable management help a little bit more for replacing the PSU. True. That's very true. Okanos, Asia Horse, or Formula Mod are the ones I go with. Formula Mod, I was looking at some old footage of a PC I had built for a community member a while back, and I used a Formula Mod screen. It was so clean. But right now, the cables that I'm obsessed with, I didn't think this was going to happen, but I used them in Emmett's build as well, is the Asia Horse cables that look like the ones out of PC Building Simulator. If it was like a slave PC, right, where he's going to overclock it, right, he's going to push the power through those. I would not use it. If it's for 5090 or even like a 5080, I probably wouldn't use it necessarily. Well, yeah, 5080, I probably would. 5090, heck no. But they feel so nice. They're really nice cables, and they look really good. Just make sure you get an RGB hub, because each one has an RGB cable, because it's a tiny little element. You don't actually have to plug that in if you don't want the little ring to light up. It's not very, I have it in mind, and it looks really good. Arson is just a term for 12V high power. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I guess I hadn't been acquainted with that particular. I get the reference. I do get it. I work at computer stores in summer, and I offer to add cable extension to almost everyone. Yes. I also like power supplies that come with really nice cables. The Lee Edge power supplies come with really nice cables with like combs on them, like permanent pre-applied combs, cable combs. They're really nice. And those are not that expensive in terms of power supplies. I'll be getting those at cable extensions for my Thermaltake PC. Excellent. Has anybody else filled out the form, by the way? No. Okay. If anybody's on the forum and I haven't helped you out yet, you got to let me know that you're here. I don't automatically know that you're here. You do have to tell me this. I don't know if you're waiting or not. But Alucard, I'm going to call yours good. I think you did a great job on the parts list, as expected. I love Cable Mod. Customer service is awesome. I have the contact info for someone at Cable Mod, and I have not reached out to them yet. Can you believe it? I'm going to campaign to get all their colors replaced with just different shades of purple, and that'll be my gift to the world. Thanks, Brett. No problem. Thank you. You've done so many builds and recommendations for everybody in the community. Come on. I feel like my music's too quiet. Yeah, I probably haven't even been really hearing it the whole time. Alucard, you were on the list, but you didn't use the emote early enough. Oh, okay, you're just reminding people. All right, that's fair. Yeah, if you're on the list, even if you're like way back here, even if it was a couple months ago, and you're just like, well, it's just weird to say now, maybe I'll fill out the form again. Just let me know. Any changes there might be, let me know you're on the list. So, a little bit of an announcement for you guys. We have a good number of y'all here. Audio levels are now a little high, actually. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Audio ducking wasn't on. That sucks. So it wasn't cutting out the music when I was talking. That's annoying. Okay, so a little announcement for you guys. Thursday is not going to be a PC matchmaking stream. Mikey, it has to be Thursday because I have to prep this place for an unboxing. It is currently an incredible mess from packing everything up and then a rapid unpacking after getting back from the trip. So it can't be tomorrow. I'm going to be, picking it up. I don't know what time it's coming in. I got to pick it up tomorrow. So Thursday, maybe Friday, one of those 2 days, is going to be an unboxing of an awesome PC. I'm going to unbox, evaluate this PC. We're going to check it out. And then we're going to send it on to its owner because a community member, y'all have seen in here fairly frequently, decided to buy a PC from Sick PCs, a very, very, very high-end one, and have it sent to me first and then to them. Imagine having your fifth. This is going to be the first 5090 that has been in studio here. In studio, it's a bedroom in my house. Okay, the first one, and I have to send it out immediately. Yeah. Oh no, what is a 5070 Ti doing in there? Okay. It would probably be my 4090 that I put in there. To be fair, I wouldn't be that cruel. Come on. 5070 Ti is awesome though. Brish, welcome. How's it going? It's a gorgeous card. I get to see that for myself. I forgot which one they got. It was a white one, though. It was a white 5090. Aorus Master. Oh, and that goes with the Gigabyte motherboard, right? Ooh. That's going to be awesome. Gigabyte has aesthetics down, man. Hot take. ProArt cards are the greatest looking cards in existence. Well, if you like that colorway, they're very clean cards. And I like the background on it. The fact that like the 4080 ProArt was developed in conjunction with Falcon Northwest because they needed a 2-slot 4080. But no, the aesthetics of all ProArt stuff, Ashfed, is awesome. Gorgeous even. There are very legitimate reasons, though, why I prefer white builds over standard black build of a PC, right? It's because it shows up better on camera. It really does. But also, it's just bright. It's just like it just glows in your setup. Like RGB is amplified. If you like RGB, it's amplified by a white PC build. If you prefer a darker build, and a ProArt generally is a non-RGB kind of thing, then yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, ProArt really kind of exemplifies the blackout build in all its glory. It's not a hot take, though. I think a lot of people like the way those look. That's the one I want to get for a 5090 since it's my preferred card of all time. So here's my thing about 5090s. If money were no object, I would want the BTF 5090 from Asus. I think they had what anniversary, 30, 40 year, whatever card. They had one, the only one in the country they had at TwitchCon. iBuyPower took it there. It was really something. That red one, the crazy looking one. But they come with like a 900 watt direct to motherboard connector. So no worries about pushing 575 watts through a 600 watt rated cable. I mean, honestly, if I got a 5090 tomorrow, I would be, and I don't mean the one that's not mine. I mean, if I were getting one, I'd be undervolting that thing. I really like the modern, more grounded nature style builds. Ashford, it's funny because I got to chat with some of the engineers from and designers from Fractal over at TwitchCon, and I was like, "Yo, you guys shook up the industry." Like right after they dropped the Fractal North, the very next Computex, every case manufacturer had 1 or 2 cases with wood on them, but none of them really did it as well as Fractal, except for one brand, I will say. Well, okay, a couple did okay. The one that probably did the best was Asus, because they like actually looked for really high quality, high density hardwood for the wood slats on the front of their ProArt case that has the wood slats on it. Like they actually showed a difference in softness between Fractal wood and the wood they used. But Fractal uses very, very nice wood slats on their North cases. And man, they just, I mean, think about it. There are just a couple of case manufacturers that are setting the trends, and then other manufacturers iterate on those trends, okay? Fractal has had things like the Meshify 2 had the geometric mesh. You saw that on a lot of cases after that, okay? They do the Torrent, and then you have some higher airflow, higher performance cases coming around. I think the best example is the BF360 from Haven. That thing is meant to directly compete with the Fractal Torrent. The North comes out, you start seeing wood paneling on the most random cases. And then you've got height. After the Y60 and Y40 came out, that was the advent of the fish tank case. They created that market, and now it's the most popular kind of case right now. In terms of any like higher end PC, a display PC, even some PCs that are like lower specs but aesthetics, which like that's a vibe too. That's a vibe. That's fine. There's some people who that's all they care about. Like they want the setup. They don't care about like they have a 1080p monitor, whatever. But I want my PC to look a certain way, and that's fine. Out of all the designs this year, the Astral really has my heart. Coldest take in existence. My favorite one is the most expensivest one. Well, yeah, of course it's gorgeous and awesome and insane. It's the most expensivest. I use an H6 Flow right now, so clean. That is a really clean case. It is. If all you're playing is Minecraft, you don't need a 4080. I mean, depends on how modded it is, what shaders you're running. There's some people who run pretty intense versions of Minecraft. Yeah, H6 Flow is a really nice case. The only thing you have to be careful of is the compatibility of the 140 millimeter fans in the for the bottom intake. You can't, like, for instance, you can't really use Lee & Lee Unifans. You can't really use the D30s from Fantex. They're too thick. Just things like that you gotta look at. Not the Matrix, the regular Astral. Okay, the Matrix is the most expensive one. You can't really buy it though. There's like what? There were like 500 of those, and they're all gone probably. Yeah. There, like I said, there's one in the United States, one in North America, I think. That and how thick the case is for desk. It is a wide case. Minecraft will only run on a 5090. I think, Joel and True, I think what you meant was Minesweeper with RTX. I know the 140 millimeter bottom fans are annoying, but I have an all black build, so well, yeah, no, that's fine. And honestly, you just use NZXT fans, and then you're fine. It's just they don't. Do they have reverse flow yet? I think they do now. I don't know. Even if you could, you're not going to see why you buy Unifans. You don't see the sides of it. Very true. Literally saw one yesterday in person. Micro Center in Patterson, New Jersey. Okay, well, apparently at the time, it was the only one in a build, like, at the time. I don't know, whatever. They could have lied to me. I'm just going to say, hey, Mikey from Sick PCs says all of iBuyPower is made up of liars and cheats. No, okay, Sick PCs, to be fair, like, to be honest with you, there are some really cool people who work there. Really, really nice people who work there. They were the first company that ever reached out to me. Well, them and Light Gaming PCs. Woo! Ooh, buddy. But it was really them. They were the first company to recognize what I was trying to do and support me, which is crazy to think about. The largest SI in North America. Like, what the hell? That was a weird time in my budding career. Like, I would love a Doom edition of the Astral, but it's just so insanely expensive. Yeah, try the Hatsune Miku version. Micro Center and Patterson. Yeah, right. Yes, got to get that ray tracing gold in Minesweeper. Yeah, that's how you win. The only gripe I had with it is that the fans that come in with it are not reverse flow. That's true. Yeah, the thing is, you got to understand, Ashved, I used to have a rep that I talked to at NZXT. And I would throw ideas at them all the time. We would talk back and forth about ideas. Before they launched it, they came to me with the rental thing, and I was like, do not do that. That is a terrible idea. It's bad for you. It's bad for your customers. You know what? Do it for enterprise. Have a separate branch that does enterprise stuff for businesses, small businesses, whatever. Do that. They need to upgrade, whatever. If they need to upgrade PCs or something like that, you can take those back, sell them as used, whatever. Do not do that with consumers. And it did, and it was terrible. Well, here I am. Amazing. It says Jamonk01. I admire that kind of confidence / delusion, but hey, you are amazing. Okay, that's my opinion. I honestly don't know where you were going with that, Jamonk, but welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. My Micro Center has that, and I want to build in one of them so badly. HS420, yeah. HS420 Doom Edition. I think Tech Tesseract did one of those, didn't they? Came out insane. It's just, when you have theming across all the parts, when you're a brand that makes all the stuff, the motherboards, the GPUs, the cases, or you collaborate with a case company, whatever, those kind of collaborations are so freaking awesome. A unified theme is the best. I saw the Hatsune Miku PC at TwitchCon. It was super dope. Miku's a little cheaper right now since that is available. That's true. Do that in the HS420. Yeah, right. I already talked about that. I'm going to play some COD 4 while I can. Later, brain chat. All right, Mike, we'll see you. Wanted to buy the Hatsune Miku GPU so bad. I was about to switch up on AMD so hard. Hatsune Miku build is so tough. It is. The vibes are immaculate. The price is not. I'm amazed at Twitch. I'm usually YouTube. Oh, okay, cool. iBuyPower provides military discounts as well. Yeah. No, they're like, you don't get to do this for like 25 years without being pretty good at it. iBuyPower, they have excellent support, which like belies the size of the company. A lot of companies of their size that do the volume that they do cannot back it up with good support. CyberPower PC. But iBuyPower can and does. Like they're like almost an industry standard for high volume sellers when it comes to that. Any issues with NVIDIA right now are all gone because of the Miku GPU. I see we have a true fan over here. Absolutely. And honestly, like, I love the colorway. It's so good. Also, by the way, there was a really cool case mod that, of course, Liquid House did with the X50, where they took the screen from the Y70 Touch Infinite. They cut out some of that compound curved mesh in the front panel. They put the screen in there. It looked insane. I hope I got footage of that, because I'm going to run it as B-roll on the video I did for Fractal and Splave. Would you mind throwing a picture of this PC you talk about, Miku? I don't know if I got a picture of it. I took some footage and stuff, but I don't know if I got a picture of it. I haven't uploaded any. I haven't offloaded any of my footage from the trip since I just got back recently. But I'll look it up real quick. The motherboard is so sick, by the way. It is so dope. I'm just browsing this. I don't know if there's a picture of the whole PC I'll put together, but look at this motherboard aesthetic. Damn. That is so sick. Also, I/O, really good. That's some really good I/O. It is AMD, by the way, which is that's the brand to go with right now for if you want to promote something. Like, they are the popular CPU brand right now, the popular platform. Just shared a video of a whole build. Okay, there you go. But look at this work of art. Almost as good as the Live Mixer board. The Live Mixer Z790. Almost as good. This thing better have good sound on it. Now, that depends on whether you're even using onboard audio, but it had better have good audio on it. Am I crazy to think so? Of course, you get stickers and all kinds of little things added in with it. Whatever this card is, PCIe card, maybe M.2. I don't know. Additional M.2. One thing that I take issue with most of ASUS's mid to high end motherboards, they cut out, like, a lot of motherboards right now have two PCIe slots at the bottom. ASUS is like, what are streamers? Who even cares? And they don't care. They don't do that. They take that out. Streaming is honestly still growing really fast. Almost 50% of the people who fill out the form to get help from me want to stream. I'm not making this stuff up, people. But damn, that's tough, dude. That's so good. No, it's Strix. I know. It's not tough, but it's freaking dope is what it is. Oh, fun fact. Guess who stopped by the PC World stream and chat while we were doing that build? It was JJ from ASUS was hanging out. It was pretty cool. I hadn't talked to him in a while. The one thing is they never made a Miku Wi-Fi router. Miku Mesh. That's what they should call it. Miku Mesh Wi-Fi. If you're rich enough to afford the Miku Mobile, you can afford a streaming PC. I guess. No? If it costs this much, it should do everything for everyone. Okay. The cooler is dope. Damn. The GPU is freaking... Oh. Insane. Insane. Look at this thing, man. That is phenomenal. You got to understand something, though, about Hatsune Miku fans. And I don't mean these fans. You can charge kind of whatever you want for this. And if they can afford it, they will pay it. Like, seriously. Hatsune, like the devoted Hatsune Miku fans are exactly that. They're devoted AF. The case is sick, man. All of this. That, like, I want to give ASUS their flowers in one regard here, okay? Because they do a lot of dumb stuff, but they do one thing really well, and that is collaborations. But why is this the old case? Why is this the Helios? Well, Helios 2. They have a newer case. I mean, this case is fine. But man, the aesthetics are just absolutely sick. Oh, you could even get the M.2 enclosure. That's the M.2 enclosure. That's really cool. I kind of want that, honestly. ASUS tax plus Miku tax. Yeah. If only there's a way to see the back plate and the fans. What do you mean? Like on the GPU? Oh yeah, they don't. Well, it's right there. There you go. Oh, no. Yeah. You do have to pick. Just get yourself an open air case. There you go. There are some open air cases that display the GPU pretty prominently. I don't get the monitor. The monitor doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This is IPS. It's not OLED. It probably is OLED pricing or higher. And all you're getting is a base. You're getting a base. Like this, if this was permanently on your monitor, you'd be a little upset about that right now. Miku finding the room makes sense. I mean, look, if you buy one piece, I guess you want to get all the pieces. And this is a high-performance 1440p monitor, but I shudder to think of the pricing. I don't even want to look. Okay. All right. If your setup is, for some reason, in a placement where you can see the back of your monitor, this is sick as hell. But most people have their setup like on against a wall. So you can't see that. What I would have liked to see, what would have been way better, in my opinion, would have been a monitor arm that is themed with this. Don't give me a phone holder. I don't care. I don't want that. Give me a monitor arm, a VESA arm that is colored that is this colorway. I feel like companies make a themed GPU, they should just sell the cooler for collectors. Well, I mean, I don't know. It depends. The Thermaltake View 600 in bubblegum blue is great for the Miku setup. True. That's actually a great point. This is the color of the bubblegum color, colorway for the Tower 600, and the smaller cases as well in the Tower series. Yeah, this should have come with an arm. This is lazy work right here, honestly, because I usually recommend monitor arms. I like that. I like having my monitor kind of hovering there. It's super dope. But you can generally kind of see some of your monitor arm unless you set it up a very specific way, and that would have been really cool. Power supply is unless the cables match. If the cables match, now you're talking. But they're not pictured. Oh, hold up. They do match. Including your GPU cable. Your 12V 2x6. Okay. CPU cables don't, but you can barely see those. These should have matched too. I agree. But remember, there's no AMD GPU for the Hatsune Miku collection. You're going to be using this. But you can just go to Cable Mod and get these kind of cables made. So I wouldn't spend the money on the power supply, except for one important fact. There's one important thing here. This case displays the power supply. So what I would do, I would just like do a printout of this and put it in there. A really nice quality printout of that. Yeah. Even this looks really good. That's crazy. What a waste. If you were to do that, black out the 1200 watt. What do you mean? Black it out? What does that mean? What do you mean? Of course, it comes with a few little extras, but like these are consolation prizes for buying something that in any other case is going to be completely hidden. Normally, you're supposed to see the actual power draw. Fair. That's true. That's true. Or you know what you do? Actually, if you want to go all out, is you get a a 16:9 LCD. See if you can fit it right here behind behind that window. If it fits, I don't think it would. Because like you have, well, maybe it would actually. You have maybe a little bit of space right there. I don't know. But a screen with telemetry right there would be super sick. Or you can put Miku videos or something like playing on a loop. How did we get here from what we were talking about before? I don't know, man. Okay, all right. It's a curved. They did the trikes on this. The tubes are awesome. This was worth getting a better look at. Yeah, that's pretty rad. This thing's going to cost so much. We're just leaving the prices in the void. They're just understand the price, too much. What's the price of the monitor? Too much. What's the price of the M.2 enclosure? Too much. What's the price of the GPU? Oh, way too much. Do they sell the fans individually? I highly doubt it. I have a feeling this will be more than the Eva units. Yes. Evangelion has a big fan base, but they're not and I say this in I'm not saying this in a derogatory fashion, but they don't have a rabid fan base, I would say, as much as Hatsune Miku. And that's because it is a massively popular anime. But you can you can love Evangelion and still it's somewhere in your top 10, whatever. That doesn't make you a rabid fan of it necessarily. There's a lot of other anime to enjoy. Hatsune Miku kind of stands alone. The fans on the AIO are kind of cool. They can do audio response and spell words. A what? I need to... Wait, what? Spell words. Okay. Oh, this right here. Man, what the hell? That's crazy. Yeah, okay. All right. I see you, Asus. I'm gonna be real. I basically never listen to Hatsune Miku. I just love the vibes. I mean, when I'm talking about rabid Hatsune Miku fans, I'm not talking about necessarily, like, I'm not saying, hey, this person right here. No, I'm just saying in general. Yeah. Really cool fans. I think it would be cool if they sold these on their own. That'd be really cool. Let's see, where was the thing that you linked earlier? Wait, who is this by? J Custom. All right. Yeah, you see, that looks really good. The power supply actually looks good. Oh, they put a screen in there. Pretty sick. That AIO is dope. The GPU is insane. The 90 degree on the 12v2x6 is perfect. They could have made it blend in with the GPU a little better.
Hey everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at all the ROG X Miku Hatsune Edition collaboration items that are coming to just as a little preview. Then we pull in the GPU, you'll see that it's color matched perfectly. Okay.
God, the paint on those parts is gorgeous. That metallic on it is really nice.
You'll see the fans are pre-installed. So this is a little bit different than the regular Ryu 4, as I was saying. The Ryu 4 does have the fans pre-installed as well, but is a wider radiator. Okay, so the Ryu 4 has what they call a back connect system, and this one does not. Sorry guys, excuse the mess here. Okay, so moving that all to the side.
Brother, you ain't got to excuse the mess. You're unboxing stuff.
Here, let's
it's gonna
first
be messy.
cover the radiator. You're gonna have custom colored grommets, right? And on here we have the 01 in pink and fuchsia, and you'll see this kind of pink fuchsia with the green teal-ish across all the items. All right, and here we have the custom fans. They are RGB on the side. You know, they'll say Miku on it, right? And they'll also have the notes. These parts will light up when you have the system on.
Now, is it reactive or is it always looking the same?
The only really re-wish for part of this whole situation is this mounting bracket for the LCD. Okay. On the regular Ryu 4, the radiator actually is much thicker, and the mounting holes, in terms of width, the mounting holes are going to be the same, but it's moved.
All right, Big Gordy, thanks for coming in and hanging out.
End tank where this plugs in.
Have a good one.
Is actually going to be on the side, and there's a very short, straight run down on the standard Ryu 4. We don't have that for this one. Okay, so the Hatsune Miku just clip part up is going to be the power supply. The non-LCD side, for those of you not aware, on the
yeah. So on this Thor PSU, I showed this at Computex last year. This screen can be flipped around to the other side depending on how you need to orient the power supply. It's so extra. It is so extra.
Thor 3, you can remove the LCD, the OLED, and put it on either side of the power supply. So depending on your orientation inside your case, right? Some people have the fan facing down. Some people have this fan facing up, right? So either way, you have an LCD.
I'm telling you, man, the paint they used is so sick.
Right. Now, so if you look at under the OLED, even here, I don't...
yeah, and there's really nice cables.
CPU EPS being color themed. Now, I don't know if that's because that's the final product, or I just got a bag for Thor 3.
Miku colors are black, blue, magenta, and silver.
There was a separate bag with these cables. So I don't know if the EPS is...
Imagine a PSU putting inside a Fractal Torrent. You wouldn't do that.
Once it goes on sale and is available,
you're spending probably an extra $200 or something just to get this theme.
What I can see so far,
I don't know how much. Whatever. I'm just throwing a number out there.
You guys know on that part. Now, for those of you curious, I've noticed to be happen this.
See, that's Alucard. I don't know if I agree with you on that. I think letting the components pop is the job of the case, while the outside needs to match the colorway in this situation. Because as mentioned, the black is one of the colors. So I don't know. I think it works. I think it works.
I don't get the Miku with you guys anything different than the other Astrals card. We have a bigger ruler on the 40, which strangely enough is not on the side.
They like their PCB rulers.
I don't know the whole thing about it, but you know, it's cool that they made GPU holder a leak and it says it ROG X Miku. That's super cool.
That's pretty funny. The leak GPU support bracket is cool.
Rubber on the top, so it's not
Dodger Dog, what's up?
But that is a nice touch, guys. That is a nice touch. I did not expect that. Because I was saying earlier, the one they originally shipped me was the one from Gamescom, and I just got the GPU. I had no idea what was in it. And I was hoping for a boxed version so I could show you guys everything that's in the box. But yeah, that is cool. So, that said, all right.
Oh, this is the build that was at TwitchCon. Okay.
Box aside, and we'll take a look at this. This I did post on a couple photos before when I was at ASUS HQ. That you guys can take a look at this now for yourselves. All right. Oh, she is a beauty. All right, guys. So rather than continually struggle with all the stickers, I'm just going to show you guys the other one. All right. So on the back, we have the custom Miku.
Okay, we want to see... Oh, he's comparing it to another Astral.
Kind of shade, right? And the small... You can see the changes.
See, like, this is a good example of why I think they did a good job with the inside of the case. If this fuchsia right here, this metallic fuchsia, was just completely against this color, it wouldn't pop as much. But instead, they put contrast around it. Contrast, like, look at these fans here. I feel like these fans almost pop a little more than this one. You know what I mean? But on this one, you know, you can tell, like, I don't know, whatever. I think contrast is important in a build this bright, like with the parts this bright. Like it
fan stickers are just whatever's. But you see, they even added things like for those who dare with the musical notes, right? So a lot of small touches, like I was seeing over here with the laser engraving, laser etching, and you know, looking at the bottom, how much different.
God, that fan shroud is nuts. It's so nice.
It's quite different, right? detail unit. So the regular instruction, the graphics, it's not exactly identical, but it's pretty close to the same, right? The hair tone is a little bit different, right? But it's pretty much the same.
My compliments were more for the motherboard in the beginning before I saw the other parts. I think they could have done more with the motherboard. But to contradict myself, this I think is what ties it together with the interior of the case being darker. Right? This is where it all sort of blends together. Well, let's see this.
Quick details on the top of the Ryu, like I was saying earlier, the Miku does light up here, right?
So I thought this could form words. Some y'all were saying it could form words. Okay. It's just the same. It just says that.
For some of the just custom items that I've done in this build, real quick, is obviously
so instead of this being some kind of like active LCD or LED matrix, it's just a window to where you can see this RGB through it. So less impressive, but more sensible.
Not using the stock cables, right? I mean, I'm using custom cables. In addition to that, you'll probably notice there's a screen on the side.
I think you should have used the cables that came with it. I mean, that doesn't look right. That looks off, actually. That is not the same color. Let me go back to the PSU cables. Yeah, that looks right. So that's not a 90-degree connector. I get it. Okay.
What I can see so far, this is what I got.
It is combed though.
Let you guys know on that part. Now, for those of you curious, I have cables, right? So this is a 24 pin, and this is a 16.
I think 90 degrees would have been better on that connector. Would be nice if that was the screen that came with that case. Yes. Every time you see a screen in a modded build that's done really well, it looks like it's something that should come with it. Yeah. Do you have any sites codes for Windows keys? Yes. VIP CDK deals. I know someone who would kill for that Miku design. Oh yeah, it's dope. Hold on. Let me get you this real quick. I keep it here just for such occasions. Is this hold on. Let me double check. No, that's not it. That's a USB card. Never mind. Hold on. Let me get you the link. 1 second. For a mega price, mega size case, it should come with the case, with the screen. Then they would just charge more for that. Yeah, so Dodger Dog, if you have Windows 11 Home, you need a different one. This is the link for Windows 11 Pro. And my code is Bray25. If you have Windows 11 Pro installed, use this one. If not, there should be a link for Home right under that on the left on that page. There you go. Let me actually put this link here as well so I can use that later on. Okay.
Cover up the gap that would exist here elsewise, because otherwise, if you don't have a full radiator here, you can have a gap here, and I didn't want that gap. It just didn't look attractive. So I covered it with
not that.
Now, it's hard to see the motherboard details
there.
Once you have everything in here. But if I slide it over, you might be able to see a little bit. Okay, not really. All right. But yes, so I have my hose to the rear. You might see a lot of installs where the hose is going to the front, but I had it to the rear simply because I didn't want it obstrude, anything covering the screen over here. And on the back, I don't know how well this is going to come out. So on the back, I have a hologram fan. This fan is cycling through some of the Miku assets.
That's cool. There you go.
That ROG had created for this launch.
So what y'all were talking about, you might have been looking at this. J Custom added that in. That's not with the case. It doesn't come with the case. They added that in. And it's a good move. I have Pro. Thanks, I'll use it. There you go. There you go, Dodger.
But yes, so that pretty much it's a really basic put together build. This is going to TwitchCon. For those of you that are going to TwitchCon, you will see this at TwitchCon. But I just want to add a little bit of my touches in there just to clean it up a little bit, have it look a little bit different. And I didn't want to complicate it too much because
anyway, super sick. Love it. Would I buy it? No. I'm not a like, I can appreciate Hatsune Miku and the whole sort of legend that has been built around this character, and it's really cool. But I'm not personally a big fan, so it wouldn't make sense for me. Oh, there is something else I can do. So I got a few things from TwitchCon. Do y'all want to see some of the things I picked up there? Good. Let's do that. So first off, I got this. I don't have my top-down camera connected right now, so I can't show that. Besides, my desk is a complete mess. But I got this. So for any of you who follow the Asian JC, I've met JC a few times. Super chill dude, super cool guy. And we ran into each other there, and I was buying some keycaps that I'll show you in a bit. And he was like, "Oh, my buddy's over here selling home like handmade keycaps." So I got this Umbreon, this purple Umbreon here. You can barely see it, but yeah, it's translucent purple. Awesome. Umbreon is a great Pokemon. So I have that as my escape key here, and when you have it on a keyboard, unplug this and turn it on in wireless mode so you can see this. It looks really cool. Just ignore the fact that this RGB is like flashing, but it looks really good. It's just the frequency of the RGB does that. Okay, I can't manage to plug this in again. There we go. As for the keycaps, yeah. So I have a, it's not sponsored content. They're not even asking for content, but a company that I've gotten to know a little bit called Syntech is sending me a keyboard just to use. They're just like, "Hey, we want to send it for your setup." I was like, "Okay, cool." I just chat with them every time I go to CES. They're just really cool people. So when I was at TwitchCon, I saw these, and I might actually use it for this keyboard. I don't know, maybe. Oh, it's taped. That's right. I saw these sort of like galaxy purple keycaps. They're super awesome. And they have like the legends are like pink, and then and you have like a lime green, sort of like very small highlights there for your shift things or whatever. It's really, really cool keycaps. It's double layered things, full set. These are Eyeball Collector brand, I guess. Designed by Material Lab, produced by Milky Way. What material? Great question. These are cherry profile, and they are translucent key. I know they're translucent. I honestly don't care. I'm not obsessed with PBT or whatever. ABS. Yeah, they're ABS. Yeah, I'm not an elitist when it comes to keycaps. I just like the way they look. The thing is, I don't use a single keyboard for everything. I have multiple keyboards, so I don't worry about them wearing out or anything like that. Tanmay, welcome. How's it going? How'd you like that PC World stream? Did you enjoy that? I saw you in there. Another thing that happened was I ran into some old friends on the way out. Eyeball is the name of the company. Eyeball. That might be the... These are... It said it's produced by Milky Way. Designed by Material Lab. Eyeball Collector might be the name of the collection of keycaps. I don't know. Whatever. Name of the set. You enjoyed it? Good. Me too. A lot of fun. Okay, so very early on in the channel, almost none of y'all will remember this because this was so long ago. Oh, wait. Or Chaos. I just saw this. Some of the 4050 series have the 12v2x6 upside down, so you can't always do an angle connector with the PSU at least. It would have been nice if it was standardized, since the original issue with the adapter being too wide would have been avoided. True. Also, some GPUs have it inset, and it drives me crazy. I hate that. I hate that. Like, they have it inset, and the latch is on the bottom, like, or it's on the side of like the heat, the cooling solution. It's so stupid. It was pretty bad, Ashford. I mean, the results speak for themselves, honestly. We're like, most of us streamers are not happy with it. Like, TwitchCon, like Twitch needs to up their game, or not do TwitchCon anymore, which would make me sad because it's the one event I go to every year. Other than there's the one con I go to every year, whereas I go to like trade shows and stuff every year. But like the convention I go to I used to go to PAX, East and West, and I used to do things like that. But really, TwitchCon is the one I've been doing consistently. So for those who have been here for a really, really long time, one of the first collaborations and giveaways I ever did was with a company called Epic Desk. I didn't have a custom desk mat with them, but they reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, do you want to just like check out a couple of our desk mats and maybe give one away and keep one or do whatever, you know?" And they had like these really cool Galaxy ones, but their whole thing was you get the desk mat and then you get a high resolution wallpaper, and each one of these is made by an actual artist. And so they feature the artist. You get the desk mat, you get the desktop wallpaper, all of it together. It's a really cool setup, and their quality is really good. But I ran into a couple of the guys as we were all leaving TwitchCon, and I was like, "Yo, Epic Desk, I didn't see you guys here. I worked with y'all forever ago. You know, hope Troy's still there. I hope everything's going well." And they were like, "Yeah, I didn't know either of the guys, but I knew the original owner, who is still there. But look at this thing." They were just like, "Here, we have like one desk mat left. Here you go." This thing is gorgeous. Holy crap, it's so rad. Are you freaking kidding me with this? Okay, look, camera, I need you to calm down. I know you can't see my face. And this, like, the surface is incredibly smooth and solid feeling. The edge stitching is perfect. The rubber on the back, it color matches, and it's machine washable. Holy crap. I've got to reach out to them and see if they're, if like, I still don't have a source to bring back the desk mat, the desk mats that I had way back when. That actually was one merch thing that a lot of people in the community picked up back in the day. So I need to bring that back. And I want to go with the brand I can trust. And I know I can trust Epic Desk when it comes to quality. Now, that might make it a little bit more pricey than some of the cheap desk mats out there. But y'all have never felt a material like this. It is so freaking nice. And the way that colors pop. Y'all know I'm not a coward when it comes to colorful things. I like stuff to be colorful. I like it to pop. I want things to scintillate my eyes. Okay? Life is too short to not enjoy the colorful aspects of life. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyways, I really enjoy. I always set time aside at TwitchCon to go to Artist Alley and any con. Always check out Artist Alley and don't just walk through there. Stop at every booth. If you know, I mean, there's some where it's just like there's reselling stuff. Okay, but oh man, where is it? I found the best hat. Okay, do I have a picture in it? I don't have those pictures yet. But I found a ditto hat. Someone was just making hat. They made a ditto hat. It's so cool. I'll show you all another time. Is it nice enough that you use the material as a blanket? This would make a terrible blanket, Ashved. It'd be like too hot because it's like not a breathable material. It's not meant, well, I mean, it's washable, but that's it. Okay. I bought 3 pieces from this artist. I don't talk about it much. I really do love Pokemon. I like a lot of Nintendo properties. Don't like Nintendo. They're jerks. They've been jerks for years now. That's just whatever. They're litigious. They do stupid stuff. They take forever to release the games I wait for. Whatever. They will sue people who like make emulators, and then they put emulators on their own Switch, and they sell little emulator boxes that are shaped like their old consoles. The hypocrisy. Anyways, however, it's just stuff that I just really enjoy. I really like Pokemon. Pokemon's fun. I don't care what critics say. Their job is, I guess, to criticize. I'm having a blast with Pokemon ZA. Holy crap, that game is so much fun. But then again, I also enjoyed Legends Arceus. So, I don't know. I just like the change up in the formula. But I bought 3 pieces. One for my kiddo, one for Ari, and one for me. This is the one I got for me. This is hand painted. That is awesome. That's an awesome Miraidon. It's very cool. And it's going to have a place of honor here somewhere. Now this I didn't buy. Yo, Skeeter Gaming coming in raiding with a party of 2. Skeeter, I pressed the wrong button. Skeeter Gaming is raiding with a party of 2. Thank you for the raid. Let's go, nerds. Weren't you just here? How's it going, Skeeter? Nintendo doesn't like us either, so it's mutual. That's fair. Thank you for the raid. And welcome, Raiders. Give a terminal cancer would want to put link on their tombstone. Nintendo would find the opportunity to sue. Yeah. Oof. So, Fractal, of course, had a good presence at TwitchCon. They had a new product. And I guess I'll go ahead and open it, unbox it here. Even though I don't have my top-down camera, it's going to be a messy unboxing, whatever. They didn't ask me to make content. In fact, I think they gave these... Actually, Splave gave this to me, not Fractal, because Splave already had... Alan already had a set of these. So he was like, do you want these? I already have some. And they gave them to him. They were the ones that were, there. So, yeah. I got the new Fractal Scape headset. That's really cool. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it. These are... I actually got to talk to one of the lead engineers for these. And guys, I did open it early. This has been opened before. But I will say Fractal makes some really nice packaging. See, that's the same way I got the refined chair. This chair would have been out of my price bracket, honestly, before. But at CES in January, for the suite where Splave PC was, and they had a joint suite with Fractal. Fractal provided a few chairs there for the suite, and they were like, they can't sell these now. People have sat in them. You want one? So they boxed it up and shipped it to me. Like, how nice are these people? And they don't say like, oh yeah, just throw out a video or something. They're like, oh, you want it? Here you go. It is there are a few times, guys, a few times. Usually when you get something for quote unquote free, there's an expectation of hours upon hours upon hours of labor. Expected content. You're expected to work and put out something, and it has to, by the way, we want to see it do well too. But put links in the description so we can track how it does. And it's stressful to get stuff. You wouldn't think so, but it is. But there are some times where you're privileged to get just something just because you were there. That's it. Nothing special about me. I was just there when they were packing stuff up. Also, Alan's just really nice to me, too. They also had a spare LTT precision screwdriver kit. I know I probably could have just asked Colton to send me one for the sponsor spot that's going to be upcoming. And I would have gotten it. But they were just like, you want this? I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to wait for it now, and I can feature it in the sponsor spot thing. But yeah, let's open this thing up. Got a little pull tab thing here. This headset is actually super dope. It's really well designed. But spoiler alert, after a long conversation with one of the lead engineers, he actually said, I asked him a few questions. He was like, that was an oversight. He said they made an oversight after I asked him a few questions, and I'll explain. Got an AirPod in under my headset and you on my phone. Interesting. Okay, Skeeter. Appreciate that. I've been here and streaming the whole time. Oh, okay, cool. Just a USB-C cable, USB-A, Type A to Type C. Cool, cool. The microphone, which, you know, we could actually plug this thing in and test the mic. See what it sounds like. I guess. It's got side tone, so I should be able to hear it. Here is the headset in question. And this is a magnesium alloy. This thing is really lightweight, and they made a lot of decisions to keep weight down on these. One of them is what led them to saying that was an oversight from the engineer. But one of the really cool things about this headset is the base. Magnetic wireless charging. These things, these rests here, have magnets in them that place the ear cups where they need to be in order to wirelessly charge. So when you're done with your headset, sometimes headphone hangers for under your desk or whatever can sometimes leave indentations in the cushioning at the top of your headset, whatever, yada, yada. They're dangling there. You might kick them. I don't know, whatever. This is designed to have you put a dedicated place on your desk for your headset, and every time you're done, you just sit it there and it charges. And it's funny because there were a few things that, I don't know. I feel like one thing that, if I can just give myself a little credit for something here, one thing that I think makes me somewhat competent at this job is that I will take the time to feel things out and assess a product and intuit what they did. And my favorite part of that is when, like, yeah, that's what we did. So we'll talk about that. But this is pretty cool because you have cable management for that USB-C that routes it around and then it gets plugged in here. And you have a removable USB dongle. Of course, Fractal likes their little fabric tabs. So that has that on there. And that just sort of sticks out of the side. So without lifting this up off of your desk, you can remove that. Now you have to lift it up to put it back on. But it's got a really nice, sticky, rubbery feet on the bottom, so you can do stuff like that, and it won't move. It will not move. But there's one thing that when I was feeling these, I was like, on the fabric, I was like, so the fabric is kind of stiff right there, but very soft right there. I was like, y'all put a coating on the outside, didn't you? But not on the part that touches your skin. But like, that's exactly what we did. And the thing is, one of the things they did not do that I thought would have been good I think they're like $220 headset, okay? Like I said, I'm privileged to just get these like that with no expectation of covering it, like I guess I'm kind of doing right now. But one of the side effects, so this all gives a little bit of stiffness to the ear cups, help them keep their shape, but also it has a passive sort of noise isolation effect. When you have this coating on the outside of the fabric but not on the inside, it helps create a seal. Even though you have this breathable, mostly breathable fabric, it helps to create somewhat of an isolated sound environment, because one of the oversights I feel they made was not including ANC, noise cancellation, on these for the price point. You can get much cheaper headphones in this that don't necessarily have the wireless charging base and yada yada, but you can get much cheaper headphones in this, or headset than this, that has noise cancellation. So that's something of an oversight on their part. But they made these nice deep ear cups so that your ears, depending on their shape, I guess if they come out like Alfred E. Newman, maybe they're going to touch the inside of here. But it can sit on your head pretty comfortably without your ears touching. The tolerances on this are really nice, so you're not going to accidentally lose your sort of favorite positioning on this. And one of the, I guess the coating does make it look a little stiff. There we go. See, that looks better. Like a headset like this, they come in black as well. You can just wear out in public and use the Bluetooth functionality with like your phone or whatever. and it doesn't look weird like you're wearing a gamer style headset. So that looks cute. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, this is nice. Okay. Okay, this is ridiculous. I take it this is a volume knob. It feels amazing. Okay. This has like a resistance to it that feels just right. It also clicks in. But yeah, you have either your USB dongle or your Bluetooth setting with this switch right here. I don't know what these other buttons do. You have an EQ button here where it looks like 1, 2, 3 settings. You can switch through those. So if you're looking for like brighter highs to hear footsteps in an FPS game to try and track where your foes are approaching from, you can have an EQ for that, and then a bassy one for certain kind of music, one for watching media that's a little more balanced, that kind of thing. I should honestly look at the manual to see what some of these other buttons do, but yeah, these are really nice. And then you've got, of course, your microphone that just plugs in like that. And it can still go up. So you can leave these on. You don't have to have it down all the time. But when you want, you just bring that down and you can sort of bend it in. This is an omnidirectional mic. Now, or no. I think is it bidirectional or omnidirectional? Does USB sound better than Bluetooth? Usually, Ashved, you're going to get less compression on 2.4 gigahertz. Yeah. ANC would need more mics around you to isolate the sounds. Yeah. I mean, I have multiple gaming, like PC headsets that have Bluetooth and ANC, so you can use them in, like there's one that I use when I'm going on flights and stuff, and it makes it much more comfortable to fly. Can you connect a third-party mic since it's just a headphone jack? Potentially. That would be kind of cool. This should fit it. This should be the same size. Let me see. It doesn't quite fit. It's a little bit different. Yeah, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's proprietary. Was it TRRS? I don't know. See, that's the thing. I can't answer questions. I wasn't given any notes on this, any talking points. I was just given the headset. So it's like, what do I do with that? But you can bend this. It'll keep its place, and you find the place that's best position for you. But I honestly feel like I was asking questions like, why go with omnidirectional instead of like super cardioid or something? That's really going to help avoid off-axis sounds and, you know, help you sound better. And you can then have lower levels too if you use super cardioid. And he was just like, oh, what was his answer on that? I like omnidirectional is kind of typical for mics like this. Your IEMs provide more natural noise cancellation from silicon tips, but it's still good to have some kind of awareness unless you're trying to not hear the crying baby on a plane. Yeah, or Chaos, the headset that I use, I think it's the XM4 1000, whatever, some Sony ones that are just one of the popular ones. It has a feature where if I speak, it will turn off ANC. Or if someone is speaking directly to me, I don't know. It turns off the ANC automatically, then turns it back on and turns on whatever your media was. It's a really good feature, I think. But anyway, let me get these plugged in. Although it's probably going to mess with my audio when I do. So fair warning. This is why I like the USB hub Stream Deck Plus thing. I'm not sure, but I think that may have been my first raid. Hey, Skeeter, you gave your first raid was here on my channel. That is awesome. Very cool. And how was it? Oh yeah. Yeah, no, IEMs are great for that. The thing is, I always sort of like stop paying attention, and then it'll like sidle out a little bit and I have to push back in. That's just on me as a user. That is user error. Oh no, I'm out of USB Type A. Now I'm not out of USB Type A ports. Can you guys see why I'm obsessed with having the ability to just plug more stuff in at any point? I think I've always been like this. So there are two different places where you can route your cable in depending on how you have this oriented, whether you have it like oriented sideways on your desk or whether you have it facing like this. I'm going to go and have it like this. So I just plug that in on the bottom there. Someday we'll get there. There we go. And then just route that right out the back. And there goes my sound. Wait, did that mess up the sound for the stream? I think it did. Yeah, it kills the sound of the stream. Awesome. I don't know if these are charged. I think that might be the only issue. One good thing I like about Fractal's packaging, I could very easily... I actually forgot I was wearing these. That's crazy. Okay, that's really cool. They're very comfortable. And that just... Oh, I have it backwards. Yeah, that sits pretty securely. Now, what did I say to get the... one of the lead engineers on the team for this headset to say that was an oversight on our part? Chris, you'll appreciate this. Never look inside the IEM cups after a few months of usage, though. Actually do that and clean it out. Do y'all not clear your ebook? Of course I do. I'm assuming these don't have an inbuilt mic and would need the external mic. I think it has either. I don't know. I need to look it up. Even OnePlus bullets have that feature now where it can boost people's speech and isolate cancel noise around you. I actually need that. I have an auditory processing issue where I have an issue with background noise. I hear it over people talking directly to me very often. Starting to get the hang of the streaming stuff slowly but surely, but it's past my bedtime. Thank you for the recommendations on OBS and stream setup creators. Good night, everyone. All right, Skeeter, have a good one. My sister asked me to have a look at her AirPods because they weren't charging. I just shoved a Q-tip in there and it worked just fine. There you go. So what did I tell one of the lead engineers on the team for the Fractalscape to make him say that was an oversight on our part? I said I was looking at the connections for it on the base and then on the headset. I was like, so y'all don't have a line in. Like just a regular headphone jack line in. And he was like, no, we go wireless or Bluetooth. And I said, okay. I'm just saying, because you are at TwitchCon right now. And a lot of us streamers, like, we like to hear, we like to monitor our microphones. And if you try to do that through wireless, you will drive yourself insane because of the latency. You just need to get from your audio interface or directly out of your microphone, if it's a USB microphone, into a headset or IEMs or something you want to plug directly in. You want the line in, or you want a headphone jack out kind of thing. Yes. So these are just a gaming headset or a Bluetooth headset for use with the... He was like, yes, that was an oversight on our part. Yes, Ashved, yes. I when it comes to placement of stuff on the stream, if you look at this screen, I could have put my face cam on the right side of the screen, but instead my monitor is right there. So I want it to look like I'm looking at whatever you're looking at. So yeah. So yeah, I got them to admit you got to understand. Okay, hold on. Let me check something here. I want to make sure I don't get this wrong. Okay. What I was saying was, y'all got to understand, Fractal is a Swedish company. They take design and aesthetics very seriously. They take engineering very seriously. And getting them to admit to a flaw in their product that they are just launching is a uniquely bad feeling. I felt guilty for bringing it up. I actually did. Actually felt guilty for bringing that up. Hold on just a second. Just get this to... There we go. Because it's a beautiful headset. Like, seriously. Like, really get... hold on. I don't have my thing up there. Like, get a good look at just the overall aesthetic. It flows. It is lightweight. It is well constructed. It is very comfortable. It has RGB, but it's subtle. Okay? Like, that is subtle RGB. And there's a button to just turn it off if you want to. Bam, gone. Bam, on. Bam, gone. Okay. And it sits perfectly in its crate. It just sits right in there, starts charging. And I had him feeling like, oh, I came to the streamer convention with a headset that's bad for streamers. Oh no. And then I ended up getting one. How awkward is that? All right, have a good one, Alucard. Hey, anytime. Dude, like I said, I know it's cool for the stream and it works for that, but anytime, just reach out to me. I might take a bit to reach back out. You know, I'm bad with communications, but I will do my best for you, buddy. This my HyperX Quadcast mic provides monitoring if I plug in my headset IEMs into the mic. No extra, yeah. And or Chaos, any USB microphone that has a headphone jack out, that's half the purpose, is to have a close by headphone connection. I just spit on my keyboard. That's awesome. Close by headset connection, so you don't have a long cable, but also monitoring for your mic. You usually have a thing to balance between your PC audio and your monitoring. It's awesome. This ain't got that, but I'm going to use them, and I'm going to see what I think. Here's what I told them. I said, you guys need to, you know, how your USB works in there, the protocols you used. What you need, actually, should have one like right here. Hold on. I just moved it earlier. Here we go. No, that's not it. Okay. What did I do with it? I will, like, make y'all wait until I find this thing. I just had it. It's just everything is such a mess right now because of me coming back from the trip. I swear. What I need to have is just like, there it is. Okay, I got it. Something that's like a bug out bag or whatever. Just my travel kit. Just a separate kit of all the stuff. The camera, the lights, all that stuff separate from my normal things. Just ready to go, because this is my main camera. I use this for everything. But anyways, This, because the headset has, lo and behold, a USB Type-C connector for direct charging. This to what they need is a basically a combo thing, and they make these for phones. They made these for phones after they got rid of the headphone jack, where you have a USB-C connector for the phone, or Lightning when before Apple finally complied with that, and then it has a headphone jack and a power in to charge your phone so you can have headphones. Right? That's it. That's it. They just need to offer that. I was like, don't worry about it. You're all good. Like, that's all you need to do. But I promise you, they don't like the idea of a cable running to this headset. I promise you they don't like that. He didn't say it. He didn't say it. I felt it coming off him in waves. Fractal and IKEA give the same vibes. They're close enough neighbors that Fractal should be stocked at IKEA. I agree. I mean, this looks like it could be a $900 IKEA chair or $300, either one, but way less comfortable if it's $300. But instead, it's like a $500 Fractal chair. I just use a bog standard Yeti Blue, and I love the thing to death. Do you have a gimbal, or do you crop into the full image? Both. So what you're seeing here is a ridiculous setup for a stream. Like, it's too much, and I don't recommend this for anybody. But I've always fancied myself more of a YouTuber than a streamer. So this is my main production camera. This is my FX3. It is overkill for my channel, but whatever. I like making PC montages and stuff. It's just been a while. It is on a DJI RS4 with, hold on, let me lock it in a centered position. And let's get that up a little bit right there. There we go. That is mounted to the wall, right? I have a mount coming out of the wall that's very adjustable and very cool. That I sort of pieced and cobbled together out of many pieces of camera gear. Now, then there's this. This is the follow camera for the DJI RS4 Mini. That's why it's a different color than the RS4, which is in black. This is like that's like a gray. Now, this took me like 2 days to order, right? Aside from the RS4. This took like 2 days to come in. The little camera by itself, right? This piece, however, that adapts it to the RS4 gimbal to allow it to do face tracking and stuff without any need for like what is it, the Raven Eye or anything like that. And then this plugs into the back USB-C on the gimbal here, and then that just goes on magnetically there. This took like 3 weeks to get from DJI in China. They did not have it at any DJIs here. But I was determined. I was like, okay, I'm going to have some content coming up where I might have a camera person. I would like to get the RS4. If I don't have a camera person, I can set this thing up on a tripod. It will follow me like a camera person. And I needed that for pre-built, rebuilt. I wanted to look like I have a camera person or some kind of crew. I don't. But it's not going to follow me right now. Let me plug this back in. The magic of wide-angle lenses. My camera is actually really close to me. Yeah, my camera's right here. Like, I can just reach out and touch it like that. Love wide-angle lenses. But anyways, I hold my hand up like this. Like, I have the answer, teacher. Okay. And then, yeah, it looks like some kind of thing where it, like, crops in and then follows you, NVIDIA kind of thing. But no, you get the full camera quality. It has its issues. It doesn't position, the default positioning of it is with the face in the center of the shot, which is dumb. But yeah. So there's my answer. Don't feel guilty. The rest of the community is going to be brutally honest too. It's better if they get to address the issues with honest feedback. The Type-C to 3.5mm DACs suck. They break too often. Well, Fractal would engineer a really good one. I'll give them credit there. They'd engineer a really good one and maybe have it be, I was thinking it could be either in the something that connects to the headset or to the hub. Nobody taught the AI tracking rule of thirds, right? But I can go to the little joystick on the gimbal. After I start the tracking, I can move it a bit and it will keep that positioning, which is what I'm going to do when I'm filming. Because this is actually cropped in. You're not getting full 4K, but I want that for when I'm recording. I want to be able to do punch-ins and things like that. I still do that here. Yo, there we go. That's, but it doesn't matter. Like, Twitch is going to compress the hell out of this anyway. YouTube is better about compression. 35 megabits per second going up to YouTube. But whatever. Like, literally sending 8 megabit per second 4K 30 to Twitch. Holy crap. Like, Twitch, just make AV1 standard already, please. Dr. Doug, awesome. There you go. Sorry, I was just reading something. My bad. Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. I mean, let me see. Let me check the forums real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I zoned out for a second, or I was responding to someone. Okay. Yep. No new forums. I mean, honestly, I was gone for a week and a half. It's always, if you miss a stream, you'll feel the effects on the next one. And honestly, I think most people, the next couple of weeks of streams are going to have very few people who are like, I want to buy a PC right now, like 2-3 weeks, or like 3 weeks before Black Friday. Expect this happens every time. It's not, doesn't mean like doom and gloom. Like, oh, no one wants help from Bray anymore. No, trust me. Black Friday comes around. It's going to be packed in here. Okay. And we're going to do some special streams for that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're having fun. All right. But yeah, I think like I got very distracted with something. I think it's a sign like my exhaustion is catching up with me. So let's just pass this forward to another stream of someone who is going to be more attentive to your needs as a viewer. Sorry about that. Anyways, let's see who's up. Wow, that's a lot of people. I just realized I followed a lot of people that I met at TwitchCon, and I'm trying to remember what they do. And I don't remember. Emmett is up. You're right about that. Okay, listen, people who are watching on YouTube, there's this really fun link in the description. It is twitch.tv/Braythorn. Come on over. Come with me to raid my buddy Emmett. And if you haven't already seen his gameplay, it is so funny because he was doing this what is it? It was I think a Super Mario World ROM hack that was basically a Kaizo, which is basically supposed to be nearly impossible. And he was complaining as he was just trouncing every stage. The dude is cracked at gameplay at the video games, at 2D platformers, stuff like that. So come say hi to my friend. This is a person who was a great host to me while I was in San Francisco. And just a very entertaining person to watch. Let's go and raid Emmett. It seems appropriate. He is looking at food right now, though. He is looking at food. Like Haz in Metroid. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know about that. Yeah. Well, like Haz and Binding of Isaac. How about that? He just walks through that game like it's nothing. But apparently he's looking at food right now. That's fine. That's fine. Let's go say hi to my bud. Where's my raid button? How do I stream again? Oh, good question. What's the raid message? Do I have a... Okay, so there's this emote for subscribers, I believe. So y'all could just drop that. What emotes do I have for... Okay, so there are free emotes for followers that are just the LGNs. So you can do this. Let me do it real quick. Which one is the... There we go. It's this one. And there you go. There's a raid message for you, and just following the channel will give you access, should give you access to those emotes. Okay. Anybody move over? No, we lost viewers. Okay, good. I'm glad my plea fell on ears. No qualifier there. All right, let's just do this. I'm very tired. I would be like, I want to go home, but I am there. It just happens that I work from here. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I'm back. Now, Thursday or Friday is going to be the unboxing. It depends on how long it takes me to get this place cleaned up and ready for an unboxing stream. And that one, I'm going to be unboxing that PC. And we're going to check it out, run some games, do stuff like that. Be careful how much I actually run on it, you know, because it is a customer's PC. I'm going to box that thing back up and send it right out. So it's going to be fun. And it's something I might want to do more often. But that's it. Let's go ahead and drop a raid for Emmett. You'll have your raid messages. Subs can just use the Bray Raid emotes, and followers can use the Bray Raid with LGNs. All right, guys. I'll see y'all on Thursday or Friday. Keep an eye on the announcements channel on the Discord to see when that'll be. And that's going to be a fun stream. It's going to be awesome. Community members' PC getting reviewed. That's unique and cool. So that's it for tonight. Until then, take care.
Let's go, nerds!